And there we go, folks. Thursday night. That's right. That means the time is right for wrestling out. That's right. We are here. I am Boxman. There is a bunch of bullshit to get into. And if I'm Boxman, that means.
And as I, this is Generation Smart Wahlberg. How are you?
I'm all right, man. You doing okay? Doing all right?
It has been an interesting week. So,
Yeah, I would imagine.
well, Wednesday night, last Wednesday, there were some storms that came rolling through. I was looking forward to being here, that coming Thursday. But about 4 in the morning, the fucking power went out. Didn't get power back on until about 10 a.m. Friday. And then today, unfortunately, I had to go take the dog to the vet, and that went as well as you possibly could imagine. Fucking worst case scenario. So it's been rough. I hadn't really been saying anything because I didn't want to bum anybody out, but she got diagnosed with cancer in March, and she's been doing her best to hang on. And we took her to the doctor today, the vet today, and they did about all they could do for her. It kind of got worse. It started to spread a bit, and she was having a hard time getting around, and she was limping on her back leg, the leg that had the cancer in it. So fortunately, you got to do what you got to do. You got to make the decision that ultimately is best for them and not for you. And unfortunately, that kind of comes at a cost sometimes. But it's been a rough week, but yeah, get through it. I'm still here, still moving. So everything's going to be all good.
Yeah, it's tough though, man. I've lost a few. So I get it. I get where you're coming from here.
Yeah, and it's rough. Kind of a little bit of a funny story, sort of, is that like they sell these cookies like at Walmart for dogs. It's like kind of Oreo, like peanut butter cookies, but they're like in the Oreo shape. Like there's a cookie on top, the filling, and then cookie on the bottom. She likes the cookies. She liked the peanut butter cookies. So there's about half a container left, and I brought them for her. And waiting to get called into the vet. She's in the car. I'm feeding her the cookies. The UPS driver shows up. They get a lot of deliveries over at that vet. And she starts barking with the fucking cookie in her mouth. She damn near choked to death on the fucking cookie on waiting to get into the vet. She's barking at the UPS driver while trying to eat. That was amazing in and of itself. But then every time they call you out in there and you go inside the vet's office, they have a little scale like right by the reception desk that you check in at, and they always make the dog get on the scale. They don't make the person get on the scale. That would be unusual. But she gets on the scale, and like she hates it there. I hate it there. I feel like it's a waste of time even making her, weigh her. She decides after she gets done, they get a good reading on how much she weighs, that she's going to lighten the load a bit. She's going to go down a pound. She just fucking shits all over the scale, which defiant to the very end. You gotta love it. And like I didn't really care because it's like, well, better fucking vet's office than at home. I don't have to clean it up. That's what they get paid to do. So
yeah,
that was fun.
Well,
but
yeah,
she made the most of the visit. It was an interesting little experience. It was kind of funny too because like I don't blame the lady. It's just the way things work. But like I get done. They do what they got to do. They give her the shots and all that shit. I have literally like this. I have the collar on my neck. I have the leash around my neck. I have my hands over my head. And I'm just walking towards the car, just all disheveled, like heartbroken. And one of the vet like technicians or whatever, aides, helpers, whatever, is getting back from lunch. And she looks at me and goes, "How you doing?" I was like, "I'm great." Like I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. I was like, I mean, it is what it is. She doesn't know, and like you kind of
right.
You got to say something. So, but it's like, what can you really say? And then what can you say to how you doing? It's like, oh, fucking normal Tuesday.
Could be better. Could be better.
Yeah. It's like I'd really rather my dog not be dead, but they're all things considered, everything else is fine, I suppose.
Yeah, that was jovial. You could have gone with that. Absolutely. That was very jovial. I like that.
Just fucking put the ball in her court. Like, oh, see how you doing.
Doing great. How are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. See, the power being out sucked though, because it was fucking. It's been hot. It was like it was in the 80s, so that you got no air conditioner, no fan. That part was rough because I was looking forward to getting on a bullshit with you Thursday, but there was other plans.
I was shocked I didn't lose power tonight. When I had a lunch appointment today. I went and did that. I'm coming back, and I mean, the thunder, the lightning, and then it just boom, downpour. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have to, with the rain we've had, I'm gonna actually have to go drain my fucking pool out.
Oh no.
That's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So I'm gonna have to go drain my pool because I want to get my pool working. I got the hot tub working, but now I need to get the pool working for the kids. What?
Sounds like a rather bizarre euphemism of like, I got to go drain the pool. Like, wow, you got that much, huh? You've been drinking a lot of liquid, staying hydrated.
No, the real pool.
Right.
It's not big. It's a decent size above ground pool. So, but I've got to get some water out of it because if it rains tonight, that motherfucker's gonna overflow.
You said above ground pools. The idea, like, my grandparents had one too, and just anytime I hear above ground pool, I think of that Mitch Hedberg joke about doing the commercial for the above ground pool. It's like it's 20 seconds long because that's the most anybody could picture having fun in an above ground pool for. It's like, what? You want me to fucking throw the ball back to Mitch again, or to Joey again, or what?
It's just as much fun as a below ground pool.
She says it's been an avalanche of rain, huh?
Yeah.
It's an avalanche! Snow filled the air, buries everything. Time to be scared, you better be aware. It's a nightmare, you better run away. If you just can't stay, if you wanna save the day.
What the fuck? All right, so let's explain what just happened. Yeah, I was gonna say, let's explain
what just happened.
On Mondays. It's 8:30 p.m. Totally Inappropriate Sports. We do these things where we pick the hockey games, and each hockey team has a drop. We play a little audio clip for them all, and that would be the one that belongs to the Colorado Avalanche. It's basically what the show has developed into. Is just like four of us grown men just making fun of this like 11-year-old boy trying to rap. So that's been fun, and it was weird too because like in order to get there, Cheese just typed in "it's an avalanche." And that was the first video. That was like one of the first videos that popped up. And then we decided that we liked it so much, we went back to look for it. And like he typed it in, he couldn't find it. I typed it in, couldn't find it. Same exact search term. So for whatever reason, that shit just magically appeared one time out of the blue. Just fucking comedy gold.
Wow. So someone kept it. Good job. Good job.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so if you want to listen to people make fun of like an 11-year-old boy, Mondays 8:30 p.m.
There you go. That's how you do it, man. That's how you fucking do it, man. But
that's right.
We've actually had doesn't compare to what you, but we've had a bunch of chickens and ducks dying. I don't know what's going on. I'm not sure if it's the rain or what. Look. I'm glad. Hopefully, it's not the snakes that are coming around and killing things, but we've got snakes around here, man. So I don't know. I think the snakes would eat them. Most of the snakes.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so.
Yeah,
I mean that's this is like the first time you've like done any sort of like farming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the unfortunate part, I guess, of being a first-time farmer is like shit like this. I mean, I guess shit like this happens to experienced farmers too, but. Yeah, it's first time that stuff like this is happening. So
yeah, it'll be all right. I mean, my daughter's favorite chicken died the other day, and it's just heartbreaking to see their little faces when it happens. So, but
sure.
I don't know why, but over the weekend I got on a fucking binge watching. After I watched the Tom Brady Comedy Central roast, for some reason I wanted more.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, I watched like 12 other roasts over the past few days.
I don't know.
I don't know why. The Comedy Central ones.
The Tom Brady one was good. I didn't see the entire thing, but we'd all seen like clips of it. There's like we did the group chat for Totally Inappropriate Sports, and like there was a couple of clips that got shared there. It was some good shit. It was really fun.
Oh, I watched it.
Yeah,
I watched the whole thing. I also watched the roast of Joan Rivers, Pamela Anderson. Here, let's see. Who else did I watch the roast of? Bruce Willis, Charlie Sheen, David Hasselhoff.
I was actually about to guess those two. Hasselhoff and Sheen were the only two I could think of.
Yep, Trump. Now the Trump one was interesting. Who was there?
Was that pre or during presidency? Like,
Oh
what
no.
was the time frame for that? I mean, it doesn't really matter, but just out of curiosity.
Yeah, 2011.
Okay.
So pre. I watched the James Franco roast, Justin Bieber, Rob Lowe, Roseanne, and Alec Baldwin.
Right on. Oh, well, whew. Boy, would that have looked a lot different had that roast happened, a couple years later.
Well, the Alec Baldwin roast happened in 2019. And
After the incident, huh?
believe it or not, it was not as political as I thought it would be. The Trump roast just was off the wall. The Hasselhoff roast was off the wall. I believe that's the one that fucking the situation was in. And my God, he got fucking booed off the fucking stage, man.
I feel for the guy.
It was either Hasselhoff or Trump that he was at, and he was awful. Here, actually,
never mind. I said I feel for the guy. I don't actually feel for the guy because I had him mixed up. Because I remember that there was one of the guys from Jersey Shore who did an episode of the Eric Andre show, and he was actually pretty funny on that. But that's Pauly D, and they brought him on and they asked him if his Paula Deen was his mom and shit like that. He was like confused the entire time, and it was interesting.
Yeah, and you know what? It wasn't the Hasselhoff roast. It wasn't the Hasselhoff roast. Hulk Hogan was at the Hasselhoff roast. Believe it or not. And he didn't do that bad.
He tried his best.
So was it the Trump roast he was at? Here, I'm going for it right now. I'm checking it right now.
Brother, I was originally supposed to be on Saturday Night Live, but I didn't get the call, and then they had John Belushi do it, brother.
Oh, yeah.
He did okay, dude. I was going to be an animal. I was actually supposed to be the guy who stuck his dick through the hole in Porky's, brother. But it was too big.
It was the Trump roast.
That Hogan was on? Yeah.
Mike, the situation was there. This was a crazy lineup for the Trump roast. It was like the situation, Snoop Dogg, Alan King. My God, it was just an array of Gilbert Gottfried. If you've never heard Gilbert Gottfried do a roast, my God, I miss that guy. And a bunch of these have. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just saying he was really good. Like he did a lot of like offensive jokes. That's how he ended up getting fired from the Affleck thing. Was he posted something that was a bit out there?
Yeah, and a bunch of these have Greg Giraldo, who was fucking an awesome roaster. Almost all of them have Jeff Ross, but Greg Giraldo passed away a while ago. So, but here we should have some fun and play this situation. Here, you want to hear the crowd reaction that Trump's for the situation? Here, it's coming up.
Thanks, Jeff. Jeff. Can you believe this guy with his capped teeth, his hair products, and his fake tan? I mean, you're actually looking good, bro.
That's like the only laugh.
A lot of you people are here tonight to watch everyone shit on the dumb guy that all the Italians are ashamed of and disgusted by. Lisa Lampanelli. Backstage, she took my hand and shoved it down her pants, and I pulled out Larry King's teeth. And Snoop's 2 Source Awards.
It starts going down from here.
Whitney, what's your deal? You look like the chicks I used to bang before I had all this money.
Do it, baby. Do it.
You're a chick, right?
Okay, yeah.
On the Jersey Shore, we call ugly chicks grenades. But I actually wouldn't call you a grenade because you're not blowing up anytime soon.
He's bombing. You want to hear him keep bombing?
This is amazing. Sure, go ahead a little bit more.
No, Steven, I didn't watch that episode. I actually
I've
didn't.
seen
I never watched.
clips. I've not seen the entire episode, but I said there's like Vader was playing like beach volleyball. I think he like deflates,
Yeah,
like destroys a ball or whatever.
Yeah, I've seen the clip on from YouTube or maybe on Facebook, but never actually watched.
They used to do those like fucking crazy like vignettes or whatever, where there's like Vader had like an evil lair or some shit, like a James Bond villain, and Sting had infiltrated or something. Like I can't remember the pay-per-view, but I remember seeing these like bonker ass vignettes that they filmed. I'll look it up and see if I can figure out which one I'm talking about. Yeah, you can find that.
We'll play a little more of Mike the Situation from Jersey Shore bombing.
Hey,
He got the crowd laughing, not him.
hey, Jeff Ross, what's up, man?
What's up, buddy?
Jeff, me and you have a lot in common, buddy.
What's that?
We're both from Jersey, and tonight's my first night doing comedy.
They like that one.
Well,
It's also your last night, just so you know.
See, the real comics are getting the laughs. That was Jeffrey Ross, who's done like 15 of these things. So
That poor man.
he's a fucking veteran.
all right, enough of that, enough. All right. I see you looking at me over there, Anthony Jezelnut. I know you're a little hater, but I know you're a funny dude as well. Because the other night I told one of your super funny jokes to a supermodel, and she was laughing while I was banging her brains out with the pile of money on the floor of my motherfucking mansion.
Just to let you know, when they pause and then laugh, they're laughing at the reactions of the actual comics.
What's great about this typically is like I've heard comedians talk about this. Like usually when they have celebrities that are not like professional comedians, people write jokes for them. Like there's a high probability that like an actual trained comedian wrote his jokes, but he's just so bad at it that they're still just like.
It's the delivery. It is absolutely the fucking delivery. Absolutely. So go ahead, Smart. Go ahead, do it.
She says he's going to get an avalanche.
It's an avalanche! Snow filled the air, buries everything. Time to be scared. You better be aware. It's a nightmare. You better run away.
Love that.
It sounds
Actually,
like every other fucking rapper out there. I really don't get it. It's the same shit. He's just as good. I mean, all right. I think there's more. I think there's more of the situation. Let's hear.
So I got nothing against you, man. I got nothing against you. Because she's like the fifth model this week to do that. So, you know what I'm saying, right? Maybe not. All right. Oh, boo. Now let's get to the real situation. My man, Donald Trump.
All right. We don't need it. He doesn't really trash him. He kind of talks on the situation. Was on one of the Apprentice episodes. So, yeah, man. But some of those were great. Greg Giraldo, though, was fucking brilliant. Jeff Ross is always brilliant. That's basically his job, is to roast people. But I don't know, man. I got on a weird kick of watching all those roasts. I don't know why, but I watched all of them.
There's actually one more that I have in the library here that's also appropriate for the situation. Not pun intended.
You're not funny and nobody likes you.
Yeah, pretty much it.
Seems like that's how that went. Oh, I feel bad. I feel bad for the guy, but it's also funny because it's so bad. Because he's just like he's aware enough to know that this is not going well. He probably doesn't care because he's being paid to do it, but oh god, those like fucking 5 minutes have to feel like an eternity.
Oh, if you think that was bad, you should hear Ann Coulter was on.
She was doing comedy.
Oh, I think it was Rob Lowe's.
What's the deal with all these colored people? Like not now. No.
She was just as bad. She got damn near booed off the stage also. Let's see. Was it Rob?
But imagine how much better that would have been if she was doing word for word that bit the situation was doing.
Let's see if it was Rob Lowe. I'm trying
This
to
program
think
is
now.
rated
Hold
TBMAL
on.
and is intended for mature audiences.
Sorry, folks. Let's see. Was it Rob Lowe's? Yeah. Jewel was on here. Ann Coulter. Let's see if we can find Ann Coulter. Peyton Manning.
Oh,
They
God,
did a
that sounds
lot.
terrible.
They did a lot of Ann Coulter jokes because this was right during the Trump years. Let me see if I can. Ralph Macchio was there. The Rob Lowe one. Pete Davidson. What's that guy's name? Ryan Riggle.
Rob Riggle?
Rob Riggle. Thank you. Yeah, the former Marine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. A little bit of Ann Coulter here. Here we go. Here we go.
Welcome everybody to the Ann Coulter roast with Rob Lowe. I'm so overwhelmed with the love in this room tonight. I can't thank you enough. It's really something. No, I'm not a comedian, which is why you can imagine I often get mistaken for Nikki Glazer. I'm only here tonight because of all of the love and respect I have for Rob Lowe and all these fabulous and talented performers tonight. It has nothing to do with this being the next stop on my press junket for the book I've just published 4 days ago, In Trump We Trust, E Pluribus Awesome.
And this is where she lost them. This is where she started losing them. All right, here. Right here.
Pause for booze. Oh, wait, I wasn't supposed to read that. Available at fine bookstores everywhere.
Now, she actually picked up the book, started talking about it. We'll fast forward a little bit here.
Of comedy.
Okay.
The show, he's successful enough that everyone knows who he is, but not so successful that he makes us feel threatened. He's like the Mike Pence of comedy. A lot of people don't realize that David's sister is famous designer Kate Spade. Judging by your outfit, David, I gather you're not speaking. Why is Jeff Ross at every roast? He thinks he deserves it. Everybody else just goes along with it. He's like Hillary Clinton. Actually,
people.
to be fair, if I could get just one person here to vote for Trump, it would be you, Ralph. People would be so surprised. I'd go up and say, I got Ralph Macchio. He's voting for Donald Trump. And they'd say, oh, what a shock. Ralph is still alive? Just kidding. You look totally fantastic.
Oh, okay. It just gets more painful from there. It just gets more painful. Painful, though, was also the James Franco roast because it was all those, it was, Seth Rogen and Seth Rogen's laugh after 30 minutes, just you want to tear your fucking eyes out.
I actually kind of enjoy the idea of Ann Coulter's comedy because I've never seen somebody do comedy before where they just get up and cut a local heel promo. It was almost like the Bill Burr thing, but just a worse version of it, where it's everyone hates her, but she's committed to doing her time.
Oh, that was that's what I kind of did all weekend, was watch. It was pouring. It was pouring here all fucking weekend. It was beautiful all week. I had to get shit done. And then this weekend, it poured here all weekend. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm fucking drinking and watching Comedy Central roast. That's what I did.
It only rained here that Wednesday, and then after that, it was good. But yeah, I used to do that a lot with friends. We would get stoned and we'd watch the Comedy Central roast, and it was funny for a while. But then, when you watch the whole thing from start to finish, everybody kind of hits the same jokes. So after a while, it kind of gets a little redundant. It's still funny, but after a while, you hear the same jokes over, and it's better in clip form, especially the ones that you've been doing. Because I had no idea that Ann Coulter did comedy, and that's fucking wild.
She didn't. No, she did. She didn't. Not at all. It was pretty bad. But like I said,
hit certain punchlines were so weird though, because with the way she said Hillary Clinton, she emphasized weird syllables. It was so crazy. I don't care about her opinions or whatever. I'm not oh fuck her. just the way that she like said certain words was like, it was like when you run shit through like text to speech and it like emphasizes weird shit.
She was like Christopher Walken without the talent.
You're like Hillary Clinton. It's like, what the fuck? Why did you say it like that?
Because she's not good at comedy. It was good though. It was good watching all of them. Pam Anderson was actually surprisingly good.
Yeah, I remember the outfit. She had like a black like see-through shirt on, and then like everybody just hit her with like hepatitis jokes.
That was on hers, but she was also on Hasselhoff's, and she did another one after. The Pam Anderson one was a fucking hot mess because what's her name was there? Courtney Love was there.
God bless her.
Telling everyone, I've been sober for a year, slurring, falling down.
See, Courtney Love like kind of works at a karmic balance for me, like a karmic stalemate. Because on one hand, what she did with Kurt wasn't so great, but on the other hand, she also threw tampons at Madonna one time at like the MTV Awards. So it's like every villain has a redemption story.
Yeah, yeah, but it was fun watching those. I can't just watch one and not watch more. I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta find all these now. And there's still a few I'm missing. The Charlie Sheen one was fucking great. The Bruce Willis one was fucking amazing. Edward Norton killed at the Bruce Willis one.
Okay.
And it was fucking awesome. But yeah, there you go, folks. I don't know why I felt like talking about that, but I did anyway, because we don't have that much wrestling really to get into tonight. So
No, not quite.
I did not see the Flava Flav one. I know there's a few more I need to look for. I will. It's right now I just found what I could find. But I know there's a few more roasts I'm missing. But that's what I have now is all the roasts I mentioned. But that Tom Brady one, man, that was a long fucking roast, but it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was really good.
Kevin Hart, man. Fucking Kevin Hart. He's he'll just go out and do what anyone wants him to do, won't they? Won't he?
He's kind of the Jeff Jarrett of comedy, which is like, I don't mean that so much of an insult to Jeff Jarrett. I feel bad for saying that, but like, motherfucker makes money. Motherfucker gets booked. He's in everything. He's always like that. And I'm not even trying to disparage anyone, but like he does, Samuel Jackson does, Danny Trejo does. They're just like the people that are just fucking always out there. They just do like almost everything.
Yeah, and some make great movies, and some don't make great
Backlash.
movies.
I'm sorry, Cheese has been wanting me to watch Backlash since Backlash happened, which is coming up on like 2 weeks now. There's just been so much shit going on. Not only that, but just obviously I'm lazy and I put shit on the back burner. That's been a reoccurring theme of our friendship. Is just he's recommended. I see things and I'm like, yeah, I'm totally gonna do that. He's like, so you see the thing? I'm like, no, I have not. Like, there's so much shit that I haven't seen. There's so many movies that you love that I haven't seen.
Oh, dude, I've been working on my digital movie collection lately, and holy shit, are there so many movies I haven't fucking watched.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, I watched a brand new Jean-Claude Van Damme movie last night called, what was it? Darkness of Man. Wasn't bad. I just can't believe in 2024 I'm still watching. There's still new Van Damme movies coming out, but he's still got it, man. He can still move. He doesn't have that if you watch Stallone's movies, you can tell, like, after Expendables, now he turned his whole body instead of just turning his head, because his neck was broken in one of the Expendables movies. So, well, he blames Stone Cold for that. That's neither here nor there. But Van Damme can still move, man. He still looks good.
Stone Cold gave him a pile driver when they were wrestling in New Japan, like he did to fucking old buddy. I can't remember his name.
I actually think
it might have been Shonen.
I think it was a suplex while they were wrestling around or a throw, one of the two. But he's told the story on his podcast before. Stone Cold has. Yeah, I've heard him tell it. I heard him tell it. That's when I was listening to his podcast. If that tells you anything, that was a long time ago.
I think it was.
Very.
I think it was Toronto. I'm just trying to, because that was a weird thing. Was like before Stone Cold had his neck broken, he broke somebody else's neck, and I do believe it was Toronto. That I've looked it up, and I believe so. I believe that's who it was. And it was the same shit. It was the same pile driver thing.
Wow, that's craziness.
But
yeah, but that was a good one. And I also watched Rampage with The Rock,
mm-hmm.
the movie about the video game.
I mean, I know this is kind of a dumb question, but like, did it have any of the like elements from the video game in it? Like, how much did it have to actually do with the video game?
The names of the animals, the mutated animals, were about it. They had George and Lizzie as from the Lizard, and yeah, that was pretty much it. But the movie itself, it was watchable. No, it was watchable. It wasn't bad. Uh-oh. Did I mute myself? Oh, I accidentally turned down my mic. Sorry about that, everybody.
Yeah, I think you turned off the camera for a second too. I don't know if that was on purpose or not. But...
Well, that was on purpose. I was taking a hit.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that was purpose. Yeah, that I knew I did. If the camera goes off, just you might hear the lighter flick when the camera goes off. I know. I did. I watched it. All right, listen. I have a few Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movies I still have to watch. I went through all of my Jason Statham movies and I was pleasantly surprised. But I've still got a few in the Rock's volume that I need to watch. Let's see. I still have to see Be Cool, which is like what's it?
Actually, watch
that one movie. Yeah, that. I need to watch Doom, Empire State. Let's see, Hercules, Skyscraper, San Andreas, Red Notice, Snitch. I have to watch a lot of his movies, but I chose to watch Rampage the other day. I was a fan of the video game when I was a kid. That's an 80s video game, man. So I was right there. But I enjoyed it. Fallout, Walter Goggins. Talk about an under fucking rated actor you've seen in tons of fucking movies. Predators, he was in. Major League 3. Let's not forget about that. Back to the Minors. He was in that one. The Shield. He was Shane in The Shield. That guy has been in some of the greatest fucking TV shows and movies, and everyone should know that guy's name and who he is.
I didn't until I was watching that Fallout, because I don't watch a lot of shit, but I saw the Fallout show, and he's so fucking good in that I immediately looked him up on IMDb, and I was like, all right, what else is he been in? And just hit watch list this, watch list that. That's what we were talking about. We were talking about like 2 weeks ago that I'm about to start watching the show Justified because he's in it, and that was like the reason. I don't know anything else about that show. I just know he's in it and he has like a leading role in it. So I was like, all right, he's really good in the Fallout show, and watch that too, I guess.
Yeah, it's weird. Your mic keeps going very low and then very loud.
And I think if I get away from the computer, then,
that's very loud.
There it is.
That's very loud. All right.
Built-in microphone.
Oh yeah. But I haven't seen Fallout. I need to check that out. I believe that's in my is Fallout in my list? Let's see. Let's find out. Do I have it? Nope. I don't. I will have to obtain that one.
That's pretty enjoyable.
I mean, I have thousands of movies, just for some reason, not that one.
Right.
Yeah. I have tons
No,
of Bruce Willis. Yeah, I have what do I have here? Like 50 some Bruce Willis movies.
I remember like a month ago, you were saying that you were watching, and I guess there was like a wrestler cameo in it, I think, but you were watching like some fucking weird, obscure, what's his name? Fucking A. The really chocolatey gentleman. Wesley Snipes. You were saying you were watching like some weird, obscure Wesley Snipes movie. And there was some
Probably
wrestler.
was. Let's see. What do I have for Wesley Snipes?
It was like some
Wesley Snipes movies.
It was like it seemed like it was like it wasn't, but it seemed like it had like a made for Tubi type of vibe to it.
I don't know. I don't know which one that could have been.
Yeah, you posted about it, but it's been like a month.
I got Gallows Walkers. That's a weird one, but no wrestlers are in that. Oh yes, actually, Diamond Dallas Page is in that one.
Yeah, there you go.
Gallows Walkers.
There was some wrestler cameo, but I was like, you found the most fucking obscure Wesley Snipes movie in the world. You're one of 3 people who have watched it.
I probably am, but it's called Gallows Walkers, and it's 2012, and it is a fucking good movie. You'll never recognize Diamond Dallas Page. You'll have to look up who he is. But it's a really crazy, like I said, it's a crazy movie. It's like a sci-fi western, and he's a dead cowboy, and it's a pretty crazy movie.
That sounds interesting, if anything.
Shit, that movie I was watching last night with Von Damme has Nick fucking Diaz in it.
Cool.
Yeah, the UFC guy. I'm sitting there like, that guy looks really familiar. And I'm like, who is Bo? Oh, Nick Diaz. Oh, I knew he looked familiar.
Yeah, Hughes had mentioned last week that you were talking about like UFC fighters like doing like movies, like just coming up with their own ideas for like who should be. So you were talking about Conor McGregor being in Roadhouse and shit. And like it got the cog in my mind turning because and I got disappointed because I loved it, but no one else did. One of my recommendations was Daniel Cormier is Precious. And nobody fucking said anything. And I was like, you know what, that was better than that. But we were like,
Yeah.
John Jerome Scarface, and like just the Basic Instinct, but like with Jessica Andrade, if you know who that is, that's the whole joke is that it's not like anything like Sharon Stone.
Oh man. Ah, shit. All right, I guess enough about movies and all that bullshit. Let's get into fucking wrestling. Let's get this shit going. What do you say?
I'll give you a quick one that is.
Nope. Okay. Oh, why'd you just lock up there?
I almost tabbed out, but I didn't.
You're all right.
So I follow the bunny on Instagram, and like, if you're wondering what she's doing post AEW, she has apparently landed a very lucrative career of doing bit parts in Lifetime movies. Because she's posted numerous trailers for Lifetime movies that she's going to be in, one of which was called Roommate Revenge. So I'm sure that's going to be a stellar classic. And then the one that she posted today is about, and I'm sure there actually is a market for it. People watch that shit. But it's like bit parts, just like not even starring anything of it. So it's like, how much are you really getting paid versus like what you were doing before, which was like,
those movies have a lot of bigger actors than you think in them when you watch them. My mom watches the shit out of that channel, dude.
Well, for sure, like you get actual like legitimate actors and shit, but like there's a lot of people that are in there that like are just the Lifetime movie like cast. You know what I mean? Like how they're for a while there, like all of the Christmas movies had the fucking girl from Full House in them.
Right.
Where you just get like the same people doing the same movies over and over and over again, and just like career purgatory.
No, you got to start somewhere, right?
That's true. But yeah, that's somewhat wrestling related. But yeah, we move on.
Yeah, got to start somewhere. So, all right, let's kick this bitch off.
Yeah.
Let's kick this bitch off with more WWE releases, folks. Yeah, these were office releases, and you know, Smark, when me and you talked about this back when this whole deal was going down, we said this was going to happen. You're going to get double the workers in a lot of different areas. And this is going to happen. We knew this was going to fucking happen. But we had releases. We've had some wrestler releases out of NXT and more. And now we find out that Fightful has reported that longtime WWE senior director of TV event relations, Steve Rubin, is gone from the company. He worked for the company for 26 years. First starting out as a production assistant before working his way up the corporate ladder. And also the WWE Vice President of International Events and General Manager of Emerging Markets, Michael Levin, is also gone from the company. Just sounds like they got rid of a couple of Jews to me. I mean, Steve Rubin and Michael Levine, I mean, I see a pattern here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Gunther were telling that they're fired.
You know, with all this anti-Semitism going on at the college campuses, WWE just fucking brings it right along, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck! Don't be fucking with me, folks. You got the wrong Jew.
Well, I mean, I think they sort of made good by like paying very horribly small.
Oh, okay. Is that when they upped his Legends contract? Goldberg. We got to make a phone call to Goldberg. Okay.
Oh, for sure. Now, yeah. Now that you pass on the corny AEW.
Absolutely. Got to call Goldberg. Come on, he shit on AEW. He did what he was told.
Mm-hmm.
Get that big Jew in here.
It's actually a pretty solid career path at this point. It's like if you just shit on AEW or not, like you gotta get them busted open first, and then you shit on AEW, and then you get brought back. It worked for fucking Bubba Ray.
Seems to be working for a lot of people lately. I mean, Jesus, Eric Bischoff is in the goddamn news every week for shitting on AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I hear my dogs out there fighting.
Oh no.
Oh, I don't care. My older, grumpier dog is not liking the puppy. So
That is always how that works.
yeah, I've got, my older one out there, and he does not like the new one. So he gets near him. I mean, I'm talking like 6 feet away, and he just starts going with his 10 little teeth, like he could hurt somebody with them.
Mm-hmm.
His 2 bottom teeth sticking out so far.
That's always what happens. I've had multiple dogs before, and like usually the way it ends up happening is you get like a new one like midway or towards the end of one of their runs, and eventually you should start to balance it out because when they're real little, the old dog kind of gets away with bullying them around, but then it gets to the point where like the scale balances. The newer one gets a little bit older and a little bit bigger, and then the older one gets older, and it's like, well, it's revenge time.
Yeah, I get it, man. So, all right. So we have that. Like I said, they got rid of a couple of the Jewish guys in the company. No one cared, obviously. Actually, Ric Flair was a little very upset, actually, about Steve Rubin being gone. He called it the worst business decision ever. But maybe the guy decided to retire. It doesn't say he was fired. It just says he's gone. It doesn't say why. So,
Apologies
anyway.
Last week, but speaking of Ric Flair, did you see the video of him at the fucking restaurant where he was like intoxicated, like very much intoxicated? And he's like,
I played the audio last week. I played the audio last week, so.
There's just been so much going on that I just sort of forgot. But like, now that you mentioned that you've talked about it, I'm actually going to go back and listen to it because I watched it on Twitter. It was just the idea that he used the phrase "put your restaurant over." He was like, I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Jeez. Yeah, dude, you got to do something with your mic. I can barely hear you. Then I hear you really, 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 really loud. Then I can't hear you at all. Then I hear you really, 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 really loud.
It's about to get louder again, I think.
Oh, that's really loud again.
Are we good now? We're good.
We're
Just
very,
back a little bit.
very loud, but it doesn't seem like it's overdoing anything. So I think you're okay. But on that note, folks, let's talk a little bit about something we have talked about before. Also, AEW's Cash Wheeler, about him getting a little gun happy on the road a few months ago, if you guys remember. Now he was set to be on trial for that case starting actually the trial should have been starting 4 days from now on May 20th. But on May 13th, a few days ago, PW Insider reported that the state of Florida has entered a nolle prosequi, which basically means they're declining to pursue or prosecute this case. Basically what they're saying is that there's not enough here's exactly what it's saying right here. It's saying that notice it this essentially means they're dropping or abandoning the charge, and they're saying that there's just not enough. They can't conclude anything. It's very inconclusive, so they just don't want to deal with it. So looks like Cash Wheeler may have gotten away with this. It is Florida, don't forget, folks. It's Florida. You can do things in Florida. You can't do everywhere else. So yeah. So they're deciding not to move forward with the case, just saying that they can't nail down what's going on in the case. So that's what it is. So he's okay, folks. He's not going to be off TV. He's all good. Anarchy at the arena is no longer in jeopardy.
Somebody posted it on Twitter about like what his role in Anarchy in the arena is going to be, and they pulled up like a clip from what I imagine is DDT, but I'm not positive. Of like it was in Japan for sure, and one of the wrestlers like pulled out, I think it was a prop, but he pulled out a gun and he was just waving it at his opponents when they got too close to them.
I've seen that.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
I've seen that at the Japan show. I have seen that video before. I have.
Well, hopefully he learns his lesson from this and isn't just randomly waving guns at people anymore. We'll see.
I would have. I think the guy at least deserves to get his handgun license pulled. He shouldn't be allowed to carry anymore.
I mean, on a serious note, yeah, I would agree with that. Because I mean, like, I'm not an anti-gun person, but like, if you display that you cannot be responsible with it, then yeah, you should have it taken away from you.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in my car yelling and screaming. Never thought I should point my gun at this motherfucker. I mean, just never done that. But I mean, I've been pretty pissed off in my car before. That's absolutely. Damn it! I keep fucking dropping shit tonight. God damn it!
Uh-oh. The gun's about to come out.
No, I'm all right. I'm all right. No, I don't even have it on me. It's locked up. All my guns are locked up.
Very good.
Yeah, but I do carry around here. I'm a fucking Jewish guy in the middle of fucking East Texas. Trust me, I got to carry around here.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely will be. But what were we in the middle of talking about? Were we in the middle of something? We were. Cash Wheeler got lucky. So there you go, folks. That's the Cash Wheeler story. Now, Smark, did you see the video of Eddie Kingston in the match against Gabe Kidd at New Japan?
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it. I didn't see the whole match, but yeah, I'm familiar with like what happened.
Well, did you see the video where his legs bounced off the barrier?
Yeah, it's not great.
No, not great at all. He's obviously legit injured because they did an angle on AEW with that right there. So, yeah, that was pretty fucking rough doing that right there. Let me yeah, you can see there.
Hold on.
Yeah. You can see he just boom. legs right off of the barricade, the steel barricade. Why would they do that in such a small area, man? I got no clue.
That's rough.
That is rough. So hopefully Eddie's going to be all right. He is definitely out of Anarchy at the arena. So we'll talk about who that replacement was. But folks, we have to do this.
Have to.
We got to talk some Vince McMahon, Janel Grant shit. We have to. We got to do it. There is, I think everyone knew this was going to happen. She told her side. Vince is now telling his side. His side is she is completely lying, which is what he's said about every person who has accused him of anything. They're lying, they're lying, they're lying.
Of course.
I mean, someone has to be telling the truth in this world, is all I'm saying, folks. Not everyone can be lying, is all I'm saying. But they are doing some stuff here, and WWE has responded to the lawsuit filed by Janel Grant and supports Vince McMahon's motion the case be adjudicated in arbitration, which means he wants this basically done in private. They need to settle in private is what he wants to do. The company's lead lawyer, Daniel Toll, filled a 24-page memorandum of law to support the motion for arbitration. Now, no, I'm not going to read all 24 pages. I promise you I'm not. There's a few little excerpts in this post-wrestling article, and I will read those right now. WWE disputes Grant's allegations, but as a threshold matter, the dispute cannot be heard in a court because Grant agreed to arbitrate her claims. Again, arbitration means settle. WWE therefore moves to compel this action to arbitration. Simply put, Grant has no claims actionable in this court because the separation and non-disclosure agreement she signed with McMahon and WWE, the monetary benefits of which she conceitedly accepted and retained, contains an arbitration provision that unambiguously precludes this court from adjudicating her claims. Okay. So that's a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo for they don't want this to be in public trial. They don't want this to be in a court. They want this to be settled outside of court. And that's it. That was a very fancy way of saying that, Smark. Okay. Among its arguments in that Grant's non-disclosure agreement, NDA, we know Vince loves those NDAs, she signed in January 2022, contained the following passage. Here we go. By signing this agreement, Grant acknowledges that she will have waived any rights she may have had to pursue or bring a lawsuit or make any legal claims against McMahon and or WWE and or any of its directors, officers, employees, agents, and representatives. This sounds like someone knew there could be problems down the road by the wording in this.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. WWE is arguing that Grant negotiated through legal representation, signed and accepted the benefits of the NDA, and that the agreement contains a clear and unambiguous arbitration provision. They also challenged Grant's argument that the Speak Out Act and Victims of Trafficking and Violence Protection Act of 2000 make the NDA non-binding. So you see, I think you can see what she's trying to use here, Smark, to make this NDA go away. Those two laws that have actually got a few women able to do some other lawsuits that they wouldn't have been able to do. I'm not sure that is the way it goes, but all right, last paragraph here, folks. So Grant alleges that the agreement as a whole is unenforceable under the Speak Out Act because the Speak Out Act concerns pre-dispute, non-disparagement, and non-disclosure clauses. It does not mention or concern arbitration, and thus does not evince, that's what it says, any congressional intent to preclude arbitration. ID, why does it say ID? ID, oof, I don't know. A claim brought pursuant to the Speak Out Act, therefore, is still subject to the claimant's agreement to arbitrate. Okay, so what they're saying is, even with the Speak Out Act, if you've already agreed to settle, you have to settle. So, makes sense. Grant also asserts violations of the TPVA. That was the other act, the
less successful follow-up from the Village People.
God, I can't fucking think of fucking names right now. The Trafficking Violation Act. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, you're doing a way better job than I am, because I am in the forest here with some of these terms.
All right. But basically, they are saying the same thing. It's just she's already agreed. So now, hours after they put this out, there was another filing by Vince McMahon and his team, which they made public also. Now, this is a little bit longer. I'm not going to get into this one as much, but this one, Vince McMahon, he basically laid out a bunch of points that he feels cannot be disputed for their arbitration. Again, I really don't want to read this whole thing because I can't seem to read very well tonight, but I can read some of it. In the latest update to the Vince McMahon sexual misconduct civil lawsuit, the former CEO's attorneys have filed their statement of undisputed material facts in the support of the motion to move Janel Grant's pending civil case to private arbitration. The filing sees McMahon's attorneys laying out 15 points that they believe cannot be disputed and that support their arguments for arbitration. The statement alleges that McMahon and Grant had a 3-year relationship, lived in the same building throughout, and entered into a written agreement at the end of their relationship. It also states that before any involvement from lawyers, McMahon offered Grant $1 million as part of the written agreement, with Grant negotiating for $3 million instead. Okay, folks, let's be honest here. Does this sound like a not guilty man? I mean, I'm not saying he did everything, and I'm not saying they didn't probably have some good times and times where they really thought that they cared about each other, but does this not, I mean, I'll give you $1 million, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, well, there's an entirely good possibility that I just didn't follow along as well as I should have.
Oh.
Because it's just, there's a lot going on and I'm kind of tired. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, but what it seemed like, based on what you were saying, based on what I interpreted, which, like I said, could very well be wrong, is that they made her sign a thing where she couldn't say much of anything once it was done. Just that was part of the agreement with the settlement or the arbitration, or however you choose to word it. So it's like, all right, they make her sign this thing that she can't really say anything else. And then right after she signs the thing and they give her the money, Vince comes out like, bitch is a liar. And just like, you don't say. It's like interesting timing on all that, huh?
Well, she did accept the first payment of $1 million in early 2022. She accepted the balance of it over installments of $500,000 each.
You sure you don't want any WWE stock, pal? I can get you a Batista autograph.
Ooh, that might have.
You want a Brie Bella T-shirt? We got just stacks of those in the wear. The Ethiopian children will not take them. They sent them back.
Just think, you could answer the age-old question: how big is Batista's dick?
You want to see Batista? Show him the hawk. And that's how he ended up doing Guardians of the Galaxy. He's just like, I'm not putting my dick out for you people.
Grab the tape measure.
Oh God, I wish I could remember. Get Sean Oliver in here.
Ask the question. Come on.
Say it.
How big is Batista's dick? There we go.
God bless him for actually like asking every wrestler that he did a shoot interview. Because I mean, it's ultimately his choice. Yes, the people send in the questions, but it's up to him to decide whether or not he wants to ask X-Pac how big Batista's dick is.
Mm.
And for that,
Now-
he is a hero.
Now, X-Pac might actually know.
I mean, I think X-Pac was like, it's huge. Like he just went along with it. Like there was other people that were just like Tony Atlas, like, how the fuck do I know?
I remember Honky Tonk Man sitting there talking about Two Cold Scorpios, and he was going, "You can put a hammerlock on it. Yeah, you can put a hammerlock on that something."
I wish so much. I know that you're not really down with fights, but like, I wish so much that you would have watched the Buff Bagwell fucking Dark Side of the Ring, because he's on there. Not Honky Tonk Man, Too Cold Scorpio. And he's talking about Buff Bagwell being a gigolo. And he's like, who would pay him money for that? His dick is so small. Nobody wants his small dick ass. And it's just like, it's like, yeah, compared to you, John Holmes is small. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I don't know if Buff Bagwell is small or not, but it's just funny that he dedicated like a segment of the show to just making fun of Buff Bagwell for having a little dick.
Might be, Buff was on those roids for a while. Things can shrink, not shrimp. Same thing.
Well,
things can shrimp and shrink.
Shrimp.
Ask Janel Grant about the curtain call. I don't think you want to do that.
Keep kayfabe, brother.
They were shit curtains. Ha 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 ha! Curtains of shit.
Now that is what I want to know. Like we need to get somebody on. We need to get somebody on the case here. Like, who the fuck had to who cleaned up the room afterwards?
I'm hoping there was plastic laid down or something. I mean, she might have thought she was going. You might not want to do that.
Like a fucking Gallagher show.
Like a hit. like a fucking. What was it? Lethal Weapon 2, where they'd walk into there and they had the plastic on the floor. They kills the guy. You know it. That would make some sense. I mean, I would at least use a drop cloth, but that's me personally. I don't really care to clean up shit.
Like, there's so much wrong with everything that happened, but like one of the worst things is just that like everybody now knows about this because he, after all the heinous shit that he did, unfortunately, literally, he didn't pay her, so now everybody has to know because she needs to get paid, and rightfully so. Like if this shit is even like fucking 10% true, she deserves every dime that she's getting.
Well, what I think is funny is he's denying all this stuff. Not once has he said, "And I didn't shit on that girl's head."
Mm-hmm.
So I got a feeling there was definitely leakage, at least.
Thank Christ that there is no fucking leak photos or videos of that.
Oh God, let's hope not.
Oh my God.
I would think
stand back, pal.
as stupid as he was to even like do text messaging with this girl, I don't think he'd be dumb enough to video it.
I am actually incredibly surprised.
I really don't.
A text message.
Whoa, you just completely broke up there for a second.
No, I'm sorry. I said I'm just absolutely.
You're back.
Absolutely surprised that he learned how to text message.
Oh, I mean, it's not that hard. My dad can text message. He's going to be, 74, I believe, in November.
Of course, my favorite, the only like real positive thing about this is just how funny it is that Vince McMahon does not know how to spell pussy. Because it's Pussey, and it shows up multiple times. So it wasn't like a one-time typo. That is how pussy is spelled, according to Vince.
You're lucky he didn't use fucking PU fucking $2 signs and a Y, okay?
There is definitely one word that I'm surprised he didn't use during any of this, and that's all I'll say about that.
Cunt.
Not quite, but
Snatch. Vag.
Let's just say it's not a word that you like should say to Teddy Long or Mark Henry.
Goo. Clam.
Or exactly. Do not take
I
Miami
knew it.
to Mark Henry. Do not say Subway to Mark Henry.
Yeah, I bet he's never been anymore. I bet he's never been back since.
that is terrible because like Subway in itself is awful, but like it only got worse. Or you might not have been able to taste the difference, honestly.
Maybe not. I don't get the meatball at Subway though. Very rarely do I. It's good. I'm not gonna lie. It's not bad.
I mean, it is what it is. Everybody has their own taste, but like, I literally, it's gotten to the point. Unless there's no other option, I can't eat Subway. Like, it's just not good to me. There's so many other sandwich places, and I'm not even like trying to be like bougie and be like, oh, the local sandwich places. I mean, literally just shit like Firehouse or like Jersey Mike's or just any of Penn Station, just any of the other ones. Honestly, I would rather eat than Subway in terms of just straight up chains.
Yeah, we've got we don't even have a Jimmy John's around here. We do have a Firehouse around here. Subway, unfortunately, is right down the street from me, though. I usually just get the turkey and cheese. Now, here's what I figured out. You want to make your sandwich fucking awesome. Get the turkey or ham, whatever you like. Make sure you get their mozzarella. They have chunked mozzarella cheese, and get that shit fucking toasted. Oh, that's what you do. That's what you do. And that will make any sandwich a little better. Yeah, Dirk says Jimmy John's. Jimmy Jones. Is Jimmy Jones same restaurant or is there a Jimmy Jones near you?
I like the idea of that, like that being an offsuit shoot of Subway. That's like a Subway Ghost Kitchen, but it's like actually good.
Not like Grubway.
Like shit, this is Jimmy Jones. We do it differently around here.
Jimmy John's, they have a, I'm not a big, I'm sorry, it was a typey.
Typey. It's a typo. The fucking went Inception with it. It's a typey.
Dirk's high as fuck. Dirk is high as a motherfucker right now.
I understand. That happens. It's all good.
It does happen. It's happening. It's happening now, folks, right now as we speak. So, yeah, Jimmy John's has I don't eat tuna much, but Jimmy John's tuna is fucking awesome. And they don't use a ton of mayo in it, which is one reason I don't like most places tuna fish. I don't even put mayo in it. I use mustard most of the time.
Yeah,
I know it sounds. You do?
Yeah, I don't eat tuna a lot, but it's a good source of protein. It's low calorie. So then in the events that I do have tuna, you just put some mustard on there and it'll do you good.
Oh, I get the spicy brown and use that.
Yeah, spicy brown's good.
Yeah, give it a little kick. Sometimes I'll get the Dijon. I like the Dijon mustard. You find horseradish mustard. Oh my Lord. I feel like I'm some rich dude in a movie. You give me fucking horseradish mustard. I love horseradish.
You know what's been good is I found, I don't know, it's at my Walmart. It might not be at everybody's Walmart, but Guy Fieri has Flavor Town sauce. Like he has a series of sauces, Flavor Town sauces. And one of them is donkey sauce. Now, I don't know why it's called donkey sauce exactly, but it's like basically this like garlic aioli type situation. But it's good. Like it's a nice garlic flavor to it. You can put it on like burgers. You could like dip chicken into it. It's good shit.
Yeah, nice. See, my wife found a garlic infused olive oil, and it is strong. So I use that on like everything. If I make burgers, I usually don't put egg in burgers. I use oil to hold them together. So I just don't bother using egg, and I do not put breadcrumbs in burgers. That's wrong, folks. That's wrong. Don't use breadcrumbs in your burgers. But I usually just don't use egg. I use that oil, and then I'll add more garlic. But I also shred cheese and put that right in my mix. So we already have cheeseburgers. always.
Right. Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I usually shred some cheddar. Mozzarella is really good in there, but basically you're eating the burger and you're like, "Ugh," you're stretching the burger out to eat it with mozzarella. We like doing cheddar mostly. Put a little cheddar in the
Yeah.
middle there. Sharp cheddar. For some reason, we're a sharp cheddar family.
That makes sense. I'm kind of
Yeah.
a Swiss guy myself. I don't eat a lot of cheese anymore, but
I can't get
I
them
like
to eat.
Swiss.
I can't get them to like Swiss, man. I love Swiss. You get me some corned beef or pastrami with Swiss. Oh my God, my dick will get hard.
There you have it.
Oh, I love pastrami and Swiss. And you know what? The bad thing is, Schlotzsky's always used to have a pastrami and Swiss. Always. Now you have to go to the right Schlotzsky's to get it. They don't all fucking carry it.
You see, there's no Selesky's around here. Like, I've heard of them, but there's just none here.
Oh, we don't have a lot around here. I mean, this is not exactly your place for a deli. But we have another deli here. I mean, we have Jason's. You guys have Jason's Deli?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, they're good. You want a fucking baked potato, Jason's Deli is the fucking bomb place to get a baked potato. But we have Jason's Deli and we have a place called McAllister's.
Yeah, McAllister's.
Oh, they have a sandwich. You been there?
Never been there, but we do have one.
Oh, they have something called the New Yorker. It's corned beef, pastrami, Swiss, mustard. Oh my Lord, it's so good. So
Right on.
you give me a good Reuben sandwich, I'm down with that too. I had something the other day I had never had before. I had a Reuben pizza.
Okay.
It was good. It was good. It's just it was a little too much Thousand Island salad dressing for me, and I ate it and my stomach killed afterwards. Potbelly. Potbelly, we have plenty of them here. Dirk is talking about Potbelly. I've never been. We also have a place here called Great Outdoors that I've never been that's supposed to have awesome sandwiches. Yeah, we got a lot of little sandwich shops. Not many out here, but I go to Dallas enough to where I could hit one if I needed to. But Jason's and McAllister's are two of my favorites, man. But yeah, Jason's, you can get some badass fucking baked potatoes.
There's it's not a sandwich proper, but there's a place around here. It's just it started off as a food truck and now they have their own little brick and mortar place, but it's called Fat Boys, and it's a barbecue place essentially. But they have it's called a Fat Boys burrito, and it's a the tortilla, of course, but they put hamburger meat in there, like a regular hamburger, French fries, and then like a Thousand Island like dressing or sauce or whatever you want to call it. And it's like it's all in the burrito. It's delightful. It was really good. Like I used to go there quite a bit, but they failed their health inspection in a big way, so no more. But for a while there, they were really good, but it got to the point where, like I said, because they tried to expand, they wanted to make it like a local chain. You know how some of those are, but the people that they put in charge of it, like the standards started to slip, and they found themselves in that they're still trying to recover from that. It's been like a couple of years now.
I had barbecue today for lunch. I went to a place called Bodacious Barbecue.
Hell yeah, I had burnt ends for dinner yesterday. That was good shit.
I love barbecue, man. It's so good. I had some sausage there. It was so good. It was so good. And I don't know what barbecue places cook their green beans in, but holy fuck, man, they're good.
Right on. Yeah.
All of them. I love green beans. But there we go. What? Where the hell were we? I think we were done. Let's just skip over Vince McMahon. No one gives a shit anymore, Vince. It's like, I mean, there's going to be his side, her side, and the truth. There's three sides to every story, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, and like, I guess we'll probably end up talking about it again because more stuff will probably come out, or at least rumors and hearsay and stuff. But like, it's almost undeniable that he did some of this, and doing some of this is more than enough in terms of like just being wrong and fucked up. Like, to what level she reciprocated and was happy with it, like, we'll never know. but even so, the fact that like he kind of just used his position to like lord it over her and that kind of stuff, like it's gross. It really is.
It is, and it's creepy. It is. It's kind of creepy to think about it, but definitely, I agree with you. There was definitely parts of this that we know are true, just don't know which parts are true.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'd have to. We don't know. We may never know. To be honest with you,
Not really.
no,
Not really.
yeah, we may never know what's true and what's not, especially if it's done out of court. We will never know. So anyway, Spark, let's talk a little bit about Ricky Starks.
Mm-hmm.
Ricky Starks, I've been pretty tough on in the past. When he was over at NWA, I used to call him 10 pounds of generic in a 5-pound bag. He was just busting out genericness to me. He's done a little better. I actually started to like him over in AEW. He had some screen time. I still think his character is a little ridiculous. He comes out with a stupid pose and he looks like a child doing it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But a lot of people were saying that he was injured. That's why he's out right now. It doesn't seem like he is. It seems like he is ready to come back. And he was asked about this on What Culture. And he said, every time I always predict something to go some way, it doesn't go that way. And it kind of just leaves me like, well, we'll just figure it out and see. Starks recently told What Culture, I really have no clue when I'll be back. It's just a very interesting time. I feel like I wish that I was on Dynamite, or I wish that I was on AEW's recent Dynasty pay-per-view. Starks says he takes solace in his work speaking for itself and knows he has no control over how he's used in AEW, despite the fact that he remains fully healthy after a scare in his most recent match that saw the finish changed on March 30th, of 30th episode of AEW Collision. He also said, at a certain point, it's not in my control. I think that's the biggest lesson I have, Starks admitted. Things are just not in my control. But the things that are, I try the hardest. I'm not hurt. Even that night on Collision, I specifically stated, hey, I'm not hurt. I was just being cautious about it. And because at the moment, I didn't know what was happening, especially with this side of my body. So I wasn't hurt. So there you go. He's not injured. He's just, for some reason, not being used. And it looked like they were going to start pushing him with Big Bill. And now looks like they've obviously gone a different way, Smark. And you got Big Bill over there with Jericho. We'll talk about that a little bit later more. But obviously they picked this guy up for a reason. You don't just pick a guy up just so the competition can't have him for a few years. They obviously picked him up. They picked him up during the pandemic when NWA was not doing anything, basically. And they've almost Dolph Zigglered the guy. They pushed him a little bit. Then they stopped, and they pushed him again. Then they stopped, and they teased that they were going to give him another little push here again. And then he's been off TV since for a couple months now. So I don't know. I don't know why Tony. I don't know why Tony doesn't use him. Maybe Tony's mad at him for something too. I don't know. I don't know why he does what he does. So I don't know. I know you've been a Ricky Starks fan, so go ahead.
Yeah, like the match he had last year with Daniels in that strap match, that was like my favorite match of the year. And especially like you think about the circumstances that it happened in, because that was like, it was supposed to be him and Punk, and then, all that stuff happened, and then it became Danielson, who like literally just got done having a fucking broken arm. They rushed him out there and they beat the living shit out of each other. And it was like not a lot of hype and anticipation because, it was not really their fault. It was a last minute, decision to put them together. And he was riding wave there because he was really popular. Danielson did a good job putting him over and saying Danielson himself said that Starks carried him in that match, which isn't true, but it's still a nice thing to say. So like he had a high profile going into that, and then they won the tag belts. It seemed like everything was going well. And we were talking about it like a couple months ago, and you were talking about the idea of like whether or not he'd go to WWE. And you were thinking it was possible. And I was sitting there banging the fucking gong. I was like, there is no way in the world that they see what they have in him. There's no way in the world they're gonna let him go somewhere else. They're gonna use him right. They're not gonna completely crush his momentum. And then of course, sure enough. Wrong. They completely dropped the ball with him. He's like the tag team title run, nothing came of it. I understand, the idea was to put the belt on Sting or whatever, but even when they had the belts, they weren't doing shit with them. The only thing that happened, I think, was they had that god awful promo segment with him, Big Bill, Jericho, and Omega, and that was like the last thing Omega did before he went away. And it was just they completely fucking dropped the ball with him. And at this point, I would hope that he would be going somewhere else. And like you were saying, you would think that him not being on TV after all the momentum he had and the fan base he's built for himself, you would think it's just logically that he'd be injured, but he's not even injured. They just don't have any plans for him.
No, which I mean, look, it's sad. I mean, like I said, I wasn't even a big fan of this guy's, but he's definitely done a lot. He's done better, in my opinion, in AEW. So, I'm still not the biggest fan of this guy, but I just realized my speaker is on. I don't know how much echo everybody's been hearing, but that hasn't fucked with the show very much.
I personally haven't heard that much at all, but I can't speak for anybody else, obviously.
No, good. I forget that speaker is on sometimes. I use it during the day. Need to turn the fucking fan on. I'm dying over here.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Oh, yes. Blow me, fan.
Come on.
Thank you.
And even before that, there was that match that he had, and I can't remember. He was with Team Taz. I want to say it was Hobbs that he was teaming with, but it was him and Hobbs and Swerve and Keith Lee. I refuse to say their tag team name because it was one of the worst in history. And they had that match in New Orleans, which is where Starks is from, and the crowd was fucking huge on him. He was fucking over as hell. And I remember just watching that match, and it's very rare nowadays, just the way everything is for anybody to like pay attention for a prolonged period of time. But like, I have a big problem with that myself. But like, I was just fucking transfixed with that match. Just like, I barely fucking blinked. My eyes were just locked onto the screen. I was so captivated. He's like, he had like two really, really good matches that I really enjoyed. A lot of people were behind him, and they just fucking did nothing with him. And I mean, it's not too late, I suppose, but like, they're not doing anything with him at the moment.
No, but I mean, you just mentioned a couple of guys they've done the same thing to. I'm sorry, I had to stand up for a second. Nobody needed to see that. I mean, I have pants on. It's not like I don't have jeans on or anything, but I don't do the shows fucking with just a shirt on. That's fucking weird. But I mean, you mentioned another person they did that to, and there's more. I mean, Hobbs. They did the exact same thing. I mean, this guy should be getting way bigger. Of put. Now they're going to give him a little push. How much you want to bet in 3 months we're going to be going, where's Hobbs?
You're on attempt number 9,000 with Wardlow, and all he did was stand in the background on Dynamite last night. So
thank you.
Going great for him.
Thank you, Wardlow, who came out and cut great promos, and was going to be I'm making my own trail. I'm this, I'm that, and then no, you're not. You're going to sit in the fucking background and look intimidating, and that's all you're going to fucking do. Meanwhile, every time this guy comes out, the crowd fucking lights up for him. That is not going to fucking last long if you don't invest in him. Why should I?
Right.
Plain and simple. They're going to fuck Hobbs the same way. I guarantee he gets the same fucking treatment. In 3 months, we're going to be wondering, where the fuck did Hobbs go? As a matter of fact, I think he's hurt right now, actually. So let's wait till he comes back. I think Hobbs is hurt. There's a lot of fucking injuries. There's a lot of injuries in wrestling right now, folks.
I know he wrestled Moxley on Collision like 2 weeks ago. That was like right after he won the IWGP belt. So I don't know if he might have been in, like, it's entirely possible that he's injured. I'm not like necessarily too well versed in his comings and goings, but yeah, they don't do anything with him. They haven't done anything with him.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, injury. Let's see here. Let's see. This was just on May 8th. So this was just 8 days ago. Cage side see. Yep, there is an injury. Out of action, suffering an injury on the April 24th AEW Dynamite.
Okay, April 24th. Yeah.
Yeah, so he is hurt right now. He is definitely hurt. I wasn't making that up.
No, I believed you. I'm just saying.
No, I like to know I'm not making things up sometimes. Just I'm weird that way. Like,
Hey,
did I
I
just
don't
make
mind.
that up? Did I just make that up in my head?
That's kind of the thing. Is like it's cool that AEW doesn't like divulge too much about the wrestlers' lives. There's some anonymity and privacy and stuff. But at the same time, it could also be frustrating when like they don't use people and you don't see them and you don't know what's going on.
Right. And then, you got this other guy who just, was online saying he got hit by a bus, and they're like, hey, why don't you come on back? We need you for a match, Darby.
Yeah.
Look, forget about the bus thing, dude. No one remembers it already. Jesus Christ, we need you.
It's probably kids these days. They're not even selling bus accidents.
Ah, jeez.
Can you imagine if Ricky Morton got hit with that bus? He'd fucking be out for 10 years.
Oh,
That's how well.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
how well he's sold.
Could you imagine?
Have
if
you
Flair got hit by
seen? He would feel no pain because he is perpetually drunk. But
Woo!
I put that Greyhound over, brother.
He would woo. He would definitely woo back at the bus. Absolutely.
He turns around and there's just like fucking a trickle of blood from where he bladed after the bus hit him, and there's a little tear, and he just like drops his fucking elbow drops his suit jacket.
Let me tell you something, boss. Tell you right now. Call Arn Anderson, the enforcer of this place.
Put your gun out, Arn.
Oh, you were saying, sir. Okay.
Exactly.
Shit. All right. Let's I guess enough about Ricky Starks. Folks, you can't see him, but if you do want to see John Cena, he's going to be hosting Shark Week starting July 7th, folks. That's right. Shark fucking Week hosted by John Cena.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm not seeing the excitement here.
I love Shark Week.
Shark Week. Shark Week, Smart. We're going to get movies like Belly of the Beast. Let's see. Species X. Great White Serial Killer, Sea of Blood, and more.
Ooh.
I do have to be honest.
I think always one of those, maybe Kelsey Grammer.
I like some shark movies. I'm not going to fucking lie. I'm not going to lie. The last person that hosted it was The Rock, folks, in 2022. Andy Samberg has hosted these things. Jason Momoa, Shaquille O'Neal.
I don't know if will do anything.
And even the Chris Jericho Appreciation Society was once locked in a shark cage during Shark Week to help promote it, folks. That's right. Everybody jumps in for fucking Shark Week. And don't forget, folks, it'll be right after Independence Day. So 3 days after you celebrate the birth of this country, you can celebrate Shark Week with John Cena.
How in the fuck? Because it's Discovery Channel, yeah. So Warner Brothers Discovery. How the fuck have they AW not brought on during Shark Week, just like maybe a one-off every year, fucking Shark Week?
I mean, that's how they did it this last time. Is they did it through a shark cage. If you remember.
I don't remember. Well, I mean, you said it, so I remember you mentioning it, but I didn't actually watch it.
Well, I didn't remember it until the article said it. Actually Smart. So we're in the same boat.
Oh God, I hope the boat's not being attacked by a shark.
Yeah, we're in the same fucking boat. I have no fucking clue what's going on. But I do like shark movies. I love the Jaws movies, even though they got ridiculous. I've watched Deep Blue Sea, 47 Meters Down.
A fucking shark ate me.
I've got a few. I've got The Meg 1 and 2, both great Jason Statham movies. I like them. I like shark movies. I don't know why. I don't like sharks. I'll catch them. I don't mind catching sharks. They're good eating. But it's one of the reasons I don't go even in the shallows of the ocean. Do you know how many days my parents lived right off the beach in Miami for a while, right off of Hollover Beach down there in Miami, and you could literally go up on their balcony and look down. You know how many days I would see people swimming out there and just see bull sharks swimming right in between their legs. Bull sharks will bite your fucking calf muscle off, dude. Okay. Anything shiny, a bull shark, you got a fucking anklet on, you're probably going to get hit by a bull shark and or a barracuda in down there.
If I'm walking around with an anklet on, I deserve to be mauled to death by a shark.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying if say a girl or a toe ring, you're probably going to get your ass fucking eaten. I have seen, well, not like that.
That's one kinky shark.
Help, he's eating my ass. Fucking let him finish. Okay.
People are worried about men and bears. Nobody thinks about sharks.
No one thinks about them, but I would be up there and see bull sharks. I would see nurse sharks. They're not going to fuck with you, but I would see sharks up there right in between people all the fucking time. So I don't really like the ocean unless I'm on a boat. And even then, I'm kind of like, let's not go too far from shore. Yeah. I'd like to still see land, you know? But yeah, which makes it weird because I've always been like, I would love to do one of those tuna fishing things, like what's that show? Wicked Cat, Wicked Tuna.
Oh, okay.
I would love to do something. Dude, they're right in Boston and everything. You can go to there's places in Texas, South Texas, you can do that shit, which I've thought about going, seeing if I could learn how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'd end up down there fucking working. Because you get me out on a boat. I love being out on the water, man. I fucking love it.
I get seasick.
I love boats. I love motorcycles. I love being out there. I love being like, I don't know, man. I've been trying for the past year to convince the wife to let me get a motorcycle. I want to. I don't want a fucking street rocket. I don't want a crotch rocket. I want a Harley. I would even settle for like a Honda Shadow or a something like that. But I'm not a crotch rocket guy.
That is actually what my grandfather has, a Honda Shadow. He's a big Harley guy too, but like just a matter of it becomes economics after a while because those things break down more often. Harleys, that's harder to replace. It's more expensive. Blah 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 blah. My grandfather, like I said, my grandfather has the Honda Shadow, and like he's had little to no problem with it in terms of like mechanical failure, engine failure, any of that kind of shit. The things that need to be repaired or replaced.
Yeah, you're gonna pay like $9,800 maybe for a Shadow new. You get a Harley, you're looking at like 19,000. So yeah, it's definitely a difference. But I don't know, man. I just I rode in Florida, man. And if I can survive those idiots, and I had a Shadow. I had a Honda Shadow 1100.
Mm-hmm.
I had a Shadow. It was a badass bike. The baffles pulled out of it and everything. That thing was loud. I could literally set off car alarms sitting on if I sat at a stoplight and revved it, I could set off car alarms parked in parking lots.
Right.
That was a hell of a fucking bike, man. I loved that fucking bike. That's
For
all
sure.
I want, man. That's all I want. Now that I'm not driving to work every day, I think it might be something to do.
Big.
I think it might be something. And out here, it's perfect. Perfect out here. Although most of the speed limits out here are 75 miles an hour.
That sounds perfect depending on who you ask.
Nah, there's a lot of roads around here. You can go 55, which is probably where I would take the roads here. So, but I don't know, man. I've been begging for one. I really would love a motorcycle again.
We have a thing around here called the Dragon Tail, and it's like this like long, fucking twisty, turny, like you go down a mountain. And it's supposed to be like the big litmus test for like the local bikers around. It's like, kind of like that shit where like I don't know, back in the old days there would be like the fucking like if I wow god, what's his name? Evil Knievel would like jump Snake River Canyon, and there'd always be like those fucking things in like the 70s or 50s movies where it's like, oh, you're not gonna fucking go down Snake River Gorge, are you? Like that kind of shit. Where it's like this like big, like mysterious evil like thing that needs to be conquered.
Yeah, like when Lane Meyer skied the K-12 and Better Off Dead.
Exactly, yeah, that kind of shit. Because it's a
Right.
mountain. You're going down a mountain, but it's like particularly treacherous for like motorcycles.
You're going down Skull Mountain? Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
You think twice about that. I love you, man. Don't do that shit. Anyway.
That is always the best. That's when like it's in those kind of movies, the action movies, but it's also in the horror movies where like they're gonna go out to like a cabin or whatever, and there's like they always fucking stop for gas in the middle of nowhere, and some old hermit's like, "Don't go over there. That's where the teens was murdered like 10 years ago." And they're like, "Fuck you, you crazy old asshole!" Like never is there once where one guy's just like, "You know what? He's got a point. No, you go home."
I love how you just did the token black guy in the movie. Like, oh look, it's Guy Torrey. Wow. Okay.
It could be him. It could also be white dudes. Like it's just that southern accent of like you don't know if it's New Orleans or if it's fucking Mississippi or Tennessee. Just the old, the old hermit. Like that's where the kids got murdered. They fucking don't go over there.
That could be an old white lady. You're right. In the South, yeah, that could be. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Sometimes you can't tell. Sometimes you can't tell. Sometimes you can.
Because I think that's
let's
fucking like the plot. I think that happened in like I want to say Friday the 13th 3 or like Cabin Fever, the first Cabin Fever movie, where there's some guy who's like, "Don't go there. Like bad shit happens all the time. I live around here," and they're like, "Fuck you." And sure enough, it does. It's like no one ever listens to those people.
No, of course not. Like no, it's like Poltergeist. They fucking ended up living on a goddamn graveyard. Looks like we accidentally Yeah, we accidentally disconnected from Mixer for a second there. All right, so it seems no one gives a fuck about poor John Cena and Shark Week because we started talking about motorcycles.
I don't know if it was we as much as it was you, but yes, no one cares.
Well, I know I'm the one that takes us off track 99% of the time. I'm ADHD. I'm fucking stoned. I mean,
no, I mean it's totally fine with me. I don't care, but like,
I'm
just saying I don't know anything about motorcycles, so that's what really wasn't my tangent. My tangent was like later, it was before, or potentially after this discussion.
Warrior says, "Fuck you." You know what's scary? I found this in my fucking toolbox. This Ultimate Warrior. Like, why are you in my toolbox, dude? I don't know what he was working on. That's not where I keep the steroids, dude. It's not where they are.
Well, he just picked what he thought was the least gay place to be because, he's not a fan of those types.
Yeah, queering don't make the world go around, does it there, Smark? That was a direct quote, by the way. That was a direct quote from Mr. Hellwig, folks.
I mean, I guess technically speaking, if you're not reproducing, like, in a sense, but like just make the world go round is such a weird way to put that. Where it's like
And
it's not like if you would have just said, "I think the shit's gross," it's like that's wrong. Fuck you. But okay, fair enough. But you're like, man, fuck it. It takes different strokes to rule the world, but you shouldn't be stroking the blokes.
I don't remember them saying Adam and Adam and Steve, man. Okay.
That would be so great if that was a tag team.
Mm.
Where like instead of Billy and Chuck, it should have been Adam and Steve. That would have been fucking amazing.
Dude, let's do it. Let's start it. Fucking let's start a tag team. Call them that. Not us. Not me. I couldn't do
I was
it.
gonna say I'm not trying to fucking take bumps.
Oh God, I couldn't. I wouldn't be cleared. Not with my nerve damage. I still have the nerve damage in my throat. It has not gone away, and I have not seen another doctor for it. I have not had time.
Yikes.
I am actually in pain right now, to be dead honest with you.
Oh no, I totally believe it. You have mentioned before, and I very much believe you. There's no reason to lie about such things.
Yeah, I pretty much go through these shows in pain. In pain. I need to move the mic.
So do the listeners.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to move
the back.
I need to move the mic so I can.
Holy shit! I said that. 2 people showed up.
Oh shit, that was funny. Anyway, let's move on a little bit here, folks. So, Smark, AEW,
yes,
is debuting a new series on their YouTube channel called Meal and a Match.
Yes.
Did you hear about this? They put it up on Dynamite a couple times.
Yeah, they showed a commercial for it. I think it's available now. That's what the commercial said, that it's on their YouTube channel. I haven't gotten around to watching it because it's just been a busy 24 hours, but yeah, it's apparently up.
Let's see. Meal and a Match with an Apex Hit Friday, tomorrow on the TBS YouTube channel. Tomorrow, 2:00, 1 Central on the TBS YouTube channel, and that's where you can find this show. Yeah, May 17th, 2 p.m. Eastern time. That's where it is, Mark, right there. So we don't know, but it sounds a little bit like, what is that, Table for Three that WWE has? Sounds like they're going to eat food and watch a match while talking about it at dinner. Could be interesting. Could be shitty.
Kind of reminds me of is I don't know if it follows the same format necessarily, but like Dinner and a Movie.
Dinner and a Movie. I remember that. Absolutely.
But yeah, it does also look like just a bad like Table for Three like ripoff, but just with Renee Young, which is better, I guess.
Yeah. And my God, I don't know why I did this on Wrestling, but I decided to look at the comments. Boy, the AEW hate out there is real, folks, which is why their ratings are dropping. Because now. Because what, bud?
And Christopher Kane's here to say hello to him.
Oh, I don't have the chat pulled up at this second. Now I do. Hello, Christopher Kane. How are you? Cody still sucks his own dick every week. Anyway.
Yep, just at a different place this time.
Yeah. The first guest, by the way, will be Eddie Kingston. And people are even complaining about that. People are complaining it's just a ripoff of another television show. People are saying it's a horrible concept, but if WWE did it, they would know how to do it. My God, folks.
I think they did, and I think that's what we were just talking about. That they kind of
exactly
idea a little bit, and
yeah,
some mixed results. I've watched some of those Table for Threes. Some of them are good, and some of them are not good.
Folks, don't hit the comment button on Wrestling Inc. is all I'm telling you. Don't do it to yourself. So, Smark, one last little story that I have.
Uh-huh.
And it's something else we had talked about, and kind of we both gave our feelings on the situation. This is the situation with Oklahoma State Athletic Commission and the Nyla Rose decision. Remember, we were talking about how they were upset because Nyla Rose broke a rule that you're not allowed to have intergender matches in the state of Oklahoma. Boomer Sooner.
That's right.
So it looks as if, according to Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics, it looks as if the folks, I'm just going to say the OSAC for the Oklahoma State Athletic Commission. I hope that's okay with everybody. OSAC.
Mhm.
They are considering. I want you to listen to the wording that this is, and then I want you to listen even closer to the wording when I read the emails that have been leaked. Has Oklahoma, the OSAC has considered changing its rules around transgender wrestlers performing in the state per records recently obtained by Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics, folks. Okay? So we talked about all this last month. Right, Mark?
Yes, we did.
So Brandon Thurston uncovered some emails. I believe Brandon Thurston is very good at the FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act, and this is how he gets a lot of his information, which that's great. That's fucking awesome. That's what a reporter should do. But they've revealed the commission might soon review its policies. Might. Might. Again, wording is so important when I read this article. The commission might soon review its policies surrounding transgender wrestlers. In an email exchange dated earlier this year between OSAC Administrator Jim Miller and representatives from AEW, a mention of the rule possibly being altered is made. It said, for your information, the commission is currently in discussion to possibly change this rule, Miller told AEW in an email. However, it is determined by the commission that this rule should be changed. It will have to go through the legislative process for rulemaking and would not be in effect until July 2024. So, hey, not that bad. It's already May, a couple months down the road. Right. Now, remember, this all happened in 2023. So, this was all going. Now, it was not specified exactly which rule could be changed. It was never detailed. It was never any details about that. But a change could hypothetically include the allowance of transgender wrestlers in its gender-based rules, or it could entirely get rid of the rule completely, which would just let basically anyone face anyone. Which, folks, if this was fucking UFC or any other actual sport, we may have a fucking argument here. This is fucking violent dancing is what fucking wrestling is, folks.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
mean,
yes, thank you. I don't mean to be crude and break it down to oversimplify it to violent dancing, but this is the shit you would see on fucking West Side Story, folks. This is not, it's a predetermined thing. It's an act. It's choreo. The reason I said that it's choreographed, folks. It is. Yes, they still go out there. They know who's going to win. They go out there. They call it in the ring. I get it, but it's still predetermined. It's still a disgusting and ridiculous rule. It's like a state still fucking enforcing anal sex rules.
Right.
I mean, again, go ahead.
Christopher Kent saying Oklahoma State's going to make all wrestlers drop their pants before a match. Like that's what I think the Oklahoma State Athletic Commission is already. It's just like it's Jim Ross and like an autographed 8x10 of Dr. Death, and they're just fucking. You have Jim Ross just going by with a clipboard, just like going down the line and just sort of looking down and just like checking or Xing out people. You can like, and eventually you're going to have like a China type situation where like at least one of the girls probably has a bit of a clit dick going on, and just like looking at the board, looking at them, looking at the billboard, looking at them, looking at the clipboard, looking at them, just shrugging violently.
Well, again, if this were an actual, I hate to use the word competitive sport, but it's kind of what
a
it is.
bummer or you're a sooner? Come on, ladies, I need to find this out.
Yeah, it's just Jim Ross, Dr. Death, and the fucking.
Goddamn, I don't know what the fuck to write down for Sunny Kiss. I've been doing this for the last 3 hours. I'm going in circles here.
Just
here,
write
I'm gonna
Sunny
hand it
Kiss.
to you. I'm gonna hand you the clipboard, and you check whichever one you think you are today. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what's allowed to be said anymore. I'm gonna go like some Jenny Nine-Heart feet.
See, and Sunny Kiss is a weird one because I've actually never heard him identify as a she.
I honestly, if I recall correctly, and I'm not sure that I am, but I think it was basically just sort of whatever you choose to identify them as.
Okay, in other words, I'm not offended by either.
Yes, essentially.
Oh, okay. Well, wow.
I've heard mainly she, but like, yeah, it's Sunny Kiss has never really been one to like make a huge deal out of it either way.
I don't know. Meanwhile, I find Sunny Kiss entertaining. I do. I actually do. But I just think this is a fucked up. Again, the wording in this fucking article is so. It's like, yeah, we might try to look like we're a little more progressive than we are by changing this rule, but then we might not. We may get rid of this rule completely, but then we may not. Might not. We might consider changing it, but we might not.
And again, that's the whole thing. Is like it shouldn't even really be a political issue as much as it is just because it's not. You don't need to be concerned for their safety. Like it's no more. Being in the. I mean, I don't know. Nyla Rose isn't always the best wrestler, but like theoretically speaking, you're in no more danger with somebody who is a trans person than you are with a male wrestler or a female wrestler or whatever the case might
be. Yeah, I agree. I just think it's pretty ridiculous that in 2024 we're still even talking about something like this when most states have gone so progressive, which isn't a problem. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying I think it's just a strange thing to be still talking about nowadays. I feel like we're in 1970.
That is the funniest shit if you really think about it, because okay, you have to have an athletic commission. They issue like licenses and shit. So like at some point they've allowed like dwarfs to get licenses and like all this kind of shit. There's like I don't know, it's a girl that says they're a boy. I don't think I can give them a license. I did allow a bear to get a license one time, over there with Bill Watts, but I don't know if I can allow Nyla Rose to be wrestling.
That Adrian Adonis was really pushing it back then. Yeah, it's pathetic with Scott and Rybread, what's going on over there in Mixler. If you want to join a few other people, you can come on over to the YouTube, my man, if you know the link. But everybody else is over there on YouTube if you want to come on over. Oklahomo. Fucking cheat.
Oklahoma, not Oklahoma.
Ha ha! I think it's Oklahomo, actually. You might have just picked our title for tonight, Oklahomo.
Get him out of here! He's got AIDS!
Oh my god.
That's apparently from an episode of Captain Planet. I did not know that. I found that on YouTube, but apparently, I think it was like Dirk or somebody said that it was from Captain Planet. I choose to believe them.
What the fuck? Holy shit. That was out of nowhere. But yeah, so we Tony Khan did respond to this. He said, "I don't think we did anything wrong," said Khan during a media call. This was back in mid-April, folks. I'm really, really shocked by it. I don't think there should be a discrimination against transgender wrestlers or transgender people at all. they have rights. Yes, they do. I agree with that, Tony. The same rights all of us have. And to that end, I absolutely stand by Nyla Rose. AEW stands by Nyla Rose and all transgender people who want to play sports. This is wrestling. There was nothing wrong with it. Now, he was with me till he said sports. Now, wrestling is a different kind of sport, and I do agree with. I think to even have that rule for wrestling is fucking ridiculous.
Right.
But like I said, man, if this was UFC, I mean, listen, I'm not gonna lie. The Fallon Fox is a very. Do you know who Fallon Fox is? The UFC transgender woman.
I mean, yeah, I've heard about the story. I couldn't identify them by name, but yeah, I've heard there was a backlash because Joe Rogan wasn't for it and all that kind of shit.
Well, it was that, and then she went in the ring and fractured someone's skull, another woman. So, and that's where people thought that Ronda Rousey was transphobic because she didn't want to fight Fallon Fox because she didn't want to fight a biological man. I get that. Fallon Fox had already fucking hurt someone hardcore before. I get it. So, I don't know. High Ridge Estates. Thank you for showing up, my man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that it's just that article is worded so fucking weird. Like they really don't jump in and say, look, we definitely feel like we're behind the times. We think we should definitely go in and definitely, redo this rule, maybe take a look at it. But no, it's just like we might look at it, then again, we might not. We could get rid of it, but then again, we could keep it. Let's just wait and see what happens.
It's just so
there you go.
It's a fucking word. Like nobody's in any increased risk of danger.
No, I think it's a little ridiculous. I mean, literally, we've had literal intergender matches before, and it's not an issue. It's just not an issue for a lot of people. Some people it is an issue for. Some people just don't like to see it. But I've stopped looking up my wrestling news on X. Good idea, Chris. That's a good idea, Chris. That shit can get fucking toxic over there, dude.
It's bad because it's gotten to the point now where like I've seen so many fucking stupid tweets and misinformation that I've started just like going at them, just saying dumb shit and trolling them and just hopes that like Twitter will ban me, and it's like it never happens. So like if they let me say whatever the fuck I want, I can only imagine like the kind of other like type of neuroses that's just being spewed there.
I mean, you can literally put straight up porn on X. I didn't realize that, but
as a God-fearing man, I would know nothing about that, but I'll take your word for it.
Will you now? All right. I think I need to,
Speaking of like terrible things that are offensive and wrong and people shouldn't be doing, I guess allegedly, I'm not sure how true this is. I've heard that they shut down the WWE 2K24. It's out now. They have a creation center where you can like create your own wrestlers and upload them. People can download them and shit. And like, there's been so much wild shit going on that like they've put an end to that for the time being, because there was shit like I saw like people were uploading just like photos of Paige from like what you would think photos of Paige. So like there's like download create a wrestler page, but like her profile pictures is like her with like jizz all over her face, and it's like, come on, guys, it's like it's a bit much.
We can't do anything good nowadays, man. We couldn't even have a portal from fucking New York to fucking Dublin. It didn't even last a week. Wasn't all our fault. Not saying it was. I'm just saying, folks, nobody can seem to act right. How's that?
I will say it lasted longer than I thought it would before people started acting up. You said not a week, and yes, not a week, but I expected it to be almost immediately. Like I expected it to be what happened when they started allowing like people to Skype into Raw during the pandemic, and it was all just like a bunch of photos of like Chris Benoit and like people being
Mm.
beheaded. Like I thought it was going to be that shit immediately, and the fact that it was like 3 or 4 days before people started flashing their tits and showing 9/11 videos, it's just like longer than I expected, if we're being honest.
Yeah, and I mean, the 9/11 videos were from over there, and the pictures and all that, and the tits, of course, came from this side of the country.
Mhm.
They looked like they would not have been bad tits to see, though. I got to tell you.
I'm disappointed that like because it was like to Ireland, you said it was like Dublin, yeah, from New York to Dublin.
Yeah. Yep.
Like I'm sad that nobody just held up like a picture of like what Sheamus looks like right now.
Sheamus already looks better.
Yeah,
Sheamus
he
looked,
does.
Sheamus looked better the next week. He had already lost his gut.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I was
Yeah,
gonna say just a photo of Sheamus, but like I thought it would be a little bit extra funny to say what he looks like now. But it'd just be funny if somebody held up a photo of Sheamus. It's like, see, we have one of you around here.
too many pints.
Mm-hmm.
Too many pints.
Sheamus.
All right, let's get into AEW. We're already hitting 2 hours here, so
Yeah.
let's get to AEW.
Christopher
I
Kane
mean-
says Sheamus needs to get back on the cycle. I'm assuming he means like Peloton. Get some
Oh,
cardio
I'm-
in.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, definitely, possibly. The unicycle is what he's talking about.
Yeah, apparently, like it was on Twitter the other day or X, I guess. Shane Taylor was calling out Kevin Nash because like Nash has been being kind of hard on AEW lately, and he said that he was going to follow the great example that Nash set for people because like everybody's that photo of Nash with abs and shit's been all over the internet.
Yeah.
And Shane Taylor said that he was going to follow the Nash example, and he posted like an emoji of a needle, and then an emoji of like a flexing emoji, and it was just like it's like wow, like great.
Well, Nash did call him pear-shaped. He said Shane Taylor was pear-shaped,
Mhm.
which is not exactly a compliment. Unless
Not
you're talking
exactly a
about
compliment, not exactly false, and definitely not something I would say to him because he would whoop my fucking ass.
Right. So that's kind of where everything started. So I kind of get his rebuttal, if you will. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it a little bit here, folks. AEW. It kicked off with the Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson match. Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson versus Kyle Fletcher and Jeff Cobb.
Yes.
This match went about 13 minutes, and I got to tell you, it felt like a 30-minute match. I don't know why.
Okay.
It felt like a 30 fucking minute match, and I was like, what is fucking happening here? Wasn't a bad match. Had Moxley and Bryan Danielson going over. Wasn't horrible, but for some reason it just felt like a long ass fucking match. Maybe because
Yeah,
Don
kind of.
Callis.
I mean, I really like Jeff Cobb, so it didn't feel so long for me, but I can see how you can end up there.
I didn't hate it. And I mean, afterwards, you got what's his name? Takeshita running out, and he was taking out Moxley in the corner. And the funny thing was, he grabbed Moxley. He was still smiling.
Mhm.
When he grabbed Moxley off of he was standing on the second rope, like celebrating.
Yeah.
And he was smiling. I'm like, is he picking him up and gonna like cheer with him, or is he gonna hurt him? And he hurt him.
Right. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. It's pretty cool German suplex here.
Yeah, I just didn't understand why he was smiling.
He's happy.
I just thought-
I mean, you'd be smiling too if that's who you were sharing a bed with.
Well, I mean, I did think it was funny when Claudio ran out. The commentators were like, "My God, that looks like a giant crowbar," and Taz goes, "Yeah, that's a giant crowbar." He was like, "Yeah, what are you, a fucking idiot?" We got the Swerve video. He was about to have a match with Brian Cage. Then we had the Malachi Black segment which was weird.
I mean, are you talking like when they jumped him or the segment after that?
The first one where they jumped him and they took his wedding ring.
Yes.
Even the explanation that they tried to give later in the show wasn't an explanation. There was never all he said was, if I beat you, Malachi held up the ring a little later in the show and said, if I beat you in the barbed wire cage match, you will bow a knee to the House of Black. But there wasn't if you beat me, you get your ring back. He didn't say that. He just balled up the ring in his hand and walked away. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. How does he get his ring back?
No, I mean, I suppose that they still have like 3 more shows before the pay-per-view, so I'm sure like they'll probably get into that. I kind of liked it because I guess basically the point of the promo was he was saying that like the wedding ring was holding him back because he's like domesticated now. He's not the same, Edge or Copeland that he used to be. So he's like trying to like light a fire under. I kind of liked it, like, and we'll get to all of it later, but like the 3 feuds that they really sort of like spent time on this week or whatever, they tried to make them personal. Like whether or not they succeeded is open for debate, but they're trying to introduce more personal elements to it in a way that's not like just using dumb fucking shoot terms where it's like, oh, you didn't get enough 5-star matches, you suck. Like they're actually trying to make things personal and trying to add some legitimate like flames to the feuds.
Yeah, but they kind of used that storyline twice in the show because when Roderick and fucking Ospreay were talking, he said the same thing. Oh, you think because you're a dad now and you got kids and this and that, you're all different, but you're not. Which I thought that whole fucking segment was awful.
It kind of was, but 3 times really, because like also they introduced the element into that with the Swerve Christian feud.
With the Swerve Christian, you're right. You're right with with Nick Wayne attacking Swerve. You're right.
Yeah, the photo of his family. But yeah, like the execution of that wasn't so great. The Ospreay Roderick Strong one, but because they did use a couple of like the insider terms during that one because he's like, you were burying me in ROH, bro, and you weren't putting me over enough, bro. And it's like, God.
I know.
It's not even Ospreay's fault because like who could have a good feud with Roderick Strong? Like he can have a good match with Roderick Strong, but like who's going to carry Roderick Strong through good promos where he's not doing his like zany character, which I like, but you can't really build. Oh, jeez.
What did I say?
I like how you went off camera. I mean, I know what you're doing, but I like how you went off camera for that. That just seemed
what
like
did I say?
Like you hit a fucking walk-off home run. It's like, I wish you would feud with like the fucking barrel of a pistol.
Oh, I know who I want to win that match.
Yep. I hope the pistol has a creative control clause.
What caliber are we talking about? No, folks, I would never actually wish death on anyone. Please don't. I wouldn't do that. That's bad karma. That's bad shit later in life. I wouldn't actually wish death on everybody. That was a joke.
Yes, that'd be a fucking weird way to just like all of a sudden we're just in battle, fucking embroiled in this like feud with Roderick Strong on Twitter.
He doesn't care. He doesn't give a fuck what we say about him. That's why I do it. I don't care. Hey, listen, if he caught wind of it, I would gladly tell that little fucking midget to his face that I think he's awful in the ring and awful on promo. He could be a great guy for all I know.
Do you have the knee strength to be able to say it to his face? Because you're gonna have to get up off the floor. You're gonna have to get on the floor and off the floor if you want to say it to his face.
I mean, I could do it sitting down, and he'd still be right in my face.
You're gonna have to say it to my face. You start fucking like lining up phone books by his feet.
No, I would just sit down. Let me just take a seat here, you little fucking midget. I mean, I'm 6'2".
Right.
I mean, I'm not short.
by the way, we didn't talk about it. I saw that you like sent the link that we were going to talk about it, but we didn't quite get to it. I guess they were talking about having the WrestleMania and Royal Rumble. They're trying to lobby to have it in Saudi Arabia. This doesn't have much to do with AEW, but I just wanted to mention this for a second. I wanted to plant this visual on somebody else's head other than mine. I read that Wednesday when those storms are coming through, and we were like under tornado watch, and they were telling us to get to our safe space and shit. And there was like a worry that things were about to get intense. So I was in the bathroom, like just kind of bracing, hoping that nothing bad happened. And like the intensity of the moment was quickly ruined when I saw the news story of them trying to get WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia, because I was in fucking hysterics. I was almost about to piss myself at the idea of fucking Joey Janela's spring break happening in Saudi Arabia, because they have the WrestleMania week shows. So like, just imagine a bunch of like fucking independent promotions running shows in Saudi Arabia. It's
Oh
the
my
most hilarious
God.
image.
The money it would cost them to even go over there, that would fuck. Oh my God, would that fuck every little indie promotion that does those? You know what they would do? They would
It
end up
couldn't
in either.
happen.
It could happen, but you know what they would do? You know what the indie shows would do?
What's it?
They would probably go to either Philly or New York, and they would all just hold their shows in one of those two spots.
Yeah, probably. But it just because, like I said, financially, there's no way it would happen. But just the idea of like a Joey Janela spring break live from Saudi Arabia was fucking killing me during this like intense moment.
Oh, that would be so dirty of Triple H to do something like that, man.
It's very petty and very dirty and very small, but like also kind of genius if you're trying to shut down the. I don't know if Triple H is, but there was like rumors like a while back that like when Vince was in charge, he wanted to put an end to those WrestleMania week shows, which wouldn't surprise me because that's companies that aren't him making money.
Yeah. But Smark, I think the most exciting thing on this show was that the Young Bucks are getting new Reebok pumps.
Of course.
And then they went and saw Renee. I'm not happy they got help for Renee. I really like seeing her in every other segment. That was really one of the reasons I love this show so much.
They're working that poor girl to death. She needs somebody to take some of the load off.
She can take a load off of me.
Alley-oop, and there it is. Perfect.
Yeah, I didn't know that was coming. I did it twice. Twice.
There you have it.
Come Tuesday.
Come Tuesday. Oh no. And boom goes the dynamite. Thank you, Chief.
And you know that's the fucking thing too, though, is like, okay, they got somebody to do interviews for Renee, and then they made her do another like fucking YouTube show. So it's like they don't ever let the poor woman do. Her and Moxley are just like fucking almost single-handedly keeping the company running anytime they need content or somebody to cover for a mistake that somebody else.
I don't think I'd be able to let her rest either. I don't blame anyone. No,
I understand.
No rest for the weary. Yeah, but the main thing we did find out though was the Young Bucks have their own shoes coming out. So we saw that. We had Jack Perry join the commentary table, and Matt Sydal and Christopher Daniels came out to have a match with the Young Bucks. Folks, Christopher Daniels got fired. People are putting it out there like it's fucking real. This is obviously a storyline. Does anyone not see that when Omega is better, Daniels and Omega are probably going to see where we're going here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Daniels can still fucking go in that ring, man. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, he was great. Like, I don't know what was up with the weird like shoulder sleeve thing that he had. I don't know if it's like he's injured, he has like shoulder problems or whatever, but that was weird. But yeah, Christopher Daniels can always go. Like, Christopher Daniels is like kind of an R-Truth type. He doesn't age quite as well, but like fucking Christopher Daniels and R-Truth will be the last two wrestlers on Earth, like long after every company has gone under.
I hope so. I like them both. They're good. Both good.
I think that's why TNA lasted so long. Is you fucking R-Truth is immortal and Christopher Daniels is immortal. And like so much of their blood has gone into that company that you've just made that fucking TNA immortal.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
Not to be confused with that fucking awful stable immortal that they had, but that's a whole other story.
Oh God, I think Hogan still has the fucking tattoo on his back.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Hook in his first match back since Dynasty against Sebastian Wolf. It was a 28-second match, actually. Then he called out Jericho, and my God, I fucking love. Man, I hate to say this. I love what Chris Jericho is doing here. He is literally taking all the hate and trying to turn it into that he thinks it's love and not hate. I like what Jericho is doing here. He's being a complete dick.
Mm-hmm.
Trolling. Exactly, Smart. You took the word right out of my mouth. He is trolling, and it is beautiful, and I love it. You got fucking Big Bill out there playing along, big smile on his face.
The Redwood, as they're calling him.
He has the fucking charisma of a tree. That's a great fucking comparison there, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he kind of does, and he's got some kind of good tan. It does look like a fucking big tree. It just stands there and sways back and forth. That's a great fucking analogy or comparison there,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Call him the oak.
I actually kind of like him, but it's like it seems like a total fucking Vince move in AEW that, like, of the two people that they decided to continue booking in that tag team once they were no longer a thing, they went with Bill over Starks. I'm just like, that was a curious choice. I don't think he should be in the Jericho role, but it's just weird that they just stopped booking Starks and it's like, we need more Big Bill on our TVs.
Oh, you got to have more Big Bill.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you don't have more Big Bill, what do you got, Smart?
Like, if you would have told me like a year or two ago, or like, I guess last year, whenever, like I was telling you about that match with fucking Starks and Hobbs against Keith Lee and Swerve that I was really enamored by. If you were telling me like in another year or two that Starks would like not be on TV, Miro would not be on TV, but like every week, fucking Big Bill and Dr. Luther would be on TV, I'd be like, I'm not watching this show any fucking more. But ironically enough, they're both like sort of tangentially involved in good things.
Well, Luther doesn't speak much, which is good.
No, they found the perfect gimmick for him is just stand in the background and don't say a word.
He's like a fucking mute Lex Luthor.
Mm-hmm.
Basically. We did have honestly, my favorite match on the show was Swerve and Brian Cage.
Yes, I'd agree with
that. It was fucking great. Crowd was into it. Crowd was loving it. No, it is a little bit weird. It's a little bit weird for Brian Cage to be involved in the best match on the show. Usually Brian Cage is just kind of used to lose. But he didn't just go in the ring here and get his ass kicked by someone smaller. He went in the ring here and got his ass kicked, and it was a nice 15-minute match. I liked it. I thought it was a good match.
I agree.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Then we had the whole Christian Cage thing, which we already talked about a little bit, unless you have any more to say on it.
No, I mean, if people didn't see it, basically what happened was that they had after the match Swerve won, Christian Cage came out, Nick Wayne jumped him from behind, and Christian Cage produced a photo of Swerve with his daughter, and I don't know if it was two daughters and like girlfriend or just whatever, him and his family. And he fucking basically broke it over his head, and he used the blood to wipe it on the photo. So like he covered Swerve's family in blood. And it was pretty fucking intense. And like, boy, he was gushing. Like he was shooting blood like a fucking sprinkler system for a minute there. Like wherever he bladed from or they got him from, it was intense.
It still baffles me a little bit that in 2024 we're still talking about how great Christian is.
And like I'm not even trying to I'm not even trying to like to say anything bad about him, but it's like
No.
it's kind of wild to me that like in a company now where they have Christian and they have Copeland, that like Christian is the better of the two at the moment. Like and Copeland's having great matches. Like he's been having some really fun good matches like week to week. But yeah, and especially the way that Christian came out, like just as underwhelming as it was at the time, because they were teasing this legendary wrestler was going to debut with AEW, and Christian came out. Everybody was like, "What the fuck is this?" And then it took like about a year or so, but as soon as he came out with that fucking the cut off turtleneck, and that like against Darby, it was like it's all over. Like he's found his niche.
Yeah, the roles have definitely. It's almost like reversed from WWE. I mean, like you said. Copeland isn't actually going out there and having shit matches or anything, but Christian is definitely the better of the two in this company, in my opinion.
Yes.
Christian has been must-watch TV throughout this whole run through this character that he's been doing. I could walk away from a Adam Copeland segment and not be upset. I would be upset if I missed a Christian segment.
Just in my opinion, right now, I think he's the best heel like in wrestling at the moment. Because it's like know, like deep down inside that you don't dislike the guy, but he's one of those heels that's so good that like you don't like him and you want to see him get his ass whooped. But he's doing such good work.
He's doing great work. It's great to see it too, man. It is. It's great to see it. I think it's awesome to watch it. So, Jesus Christ, I literally just my finger is now. I cut my finger somehow on my ring. I got it. I don't know what I did. Anyway, I'm bleeding. I'll live.
I don't want to set expectations too high, and I don't want to ask too much of you, but there's a segment coming up soon that I cannot wait to see what you think. And it might be the next one. I don't know what the rundown was.
Let's see. The next segment was Renee with Hook and Shibata.
Damn it. No.
Okay. Let's see. We talked a little bit about the Roderick Strong thing already, and Will Ospreay. What is it? What segment?
Yes, I'll just go ahead and cut to the chase because
Sure.
It is the Mercedes Moné Willow Nightingale segment.
Okay. Yeah, that was right next.
God, it was awful.
And you know what? I am not putting any blame on Willow Nightingale. I honestly, I thought she was fine. I thought she was good. What's up,
wow,
Morad?
this is a absolute total like polar opposite of what my opinion was about this. Because I was right with you because you were like, I'm not gonna put any blame, and I was like, yep, on Mercedes. And you're like, Willow. I was like, what?
Oh, I thought Mercedes sucked.
I thought Willow was fucking awful. Like she said the right things, but there's just nothing in the way that she delivered that promo that had like any intensity to it. Like she sounded like she was like fucking lecturing, like she was like a substitute fucking elementary school teacher that was lecturing the children on why they should share and not call each other hurtful names. Like she didn't sound like somebody that was gonna fight this like epic battle and like fucking prove herself to the world. She sounded like somebody who was like upset that you said a hurtful thing about them online and now they're going to HR about it.
See, I didn't mind it. I think she needs to. I think she has in her mind all she wants to be, and I even saw an article today on how she's really wanting to be a role model for kids and this and that. But you can still do that and be a little angry. You know, you can still do it. But I thought Mercedes said nothing new, same bullshit, same thing. What? I don't know, man. I didn't like the segment at all. I found myself I went back because I thought I missed something, and I ended up fast forwarding through it. I just didn't give a fuck. I heard Mercedes start talking, and I'm like, this is, she said this last week, and the week before, and the week before that. And it's like, she must sit in that fucking chair for an hour or more to get her fucking hair to look like that. And then you just come out here and it's the same fucking drivel we've heard for the last fucking month. I still say she should have gone through Chris Statlander first. They could have had 2 or 3 matches. Stokely could have got involved in the first one, causing her the match, or not even costing her the match. She wins the first one, even though Stokely gets involved, which means Chris Statlander wants another fucking rematch, which means you put her in the ring again against there. Then Stokely can get involved and you can give her some sort of bullshit. There is so many ways they could have had this be so much more interesting, interactive. How's that for a fucking word? Interactive. Right now, it is just fucking drivel as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it has to be said. It wasn't great, but yeah, I just have a hard time like buying any like authenticity from Willow. Like you said, Mercedes is kind of the same promo, but it's funny because that was the same kind of shit that you would do in WWE too. Is like it was the same promo, the same character, like almost every time. So like I'm just kind of used to it, I guess, in a sense. But I mean, I just thought and to some degree, like it made sense because like Willow was like, do you know the rich history of this company and all the tradition and the belt and what TBS stands for and all the people that worked really hard to make people love wrestling and all. It just sounded like very hokey. And she's like, bitch, I know about history. I am history. I made history. You're here because of me. And it was like, okay, cool. Like right on. But it's just like, she was borderline Cody territory in my opinion, and that's not where you want to be. I mean, maybe it is because people like Cody that aren't me, but I was for a second there expecting her to be like, and I love my dog and I love America and I'm also dating somebody that's a different race than I am, so I'm also ending racism and here's American flags for everyone.
Yay!
I bought you guys. Like, I would not be surprised if, like, one week there's, like, a fucking Willow pizza party where she's just like, I bought everybody Little Caesars and we're all going to put on pajamas and watch a movie together and be friends. And it's just like, this is the corniest shit.
Ooh, deep dish. Did you tell me you got the Sicilian, the pizza?
Of course. You got the Sicilian, you got the deep dish, you got the Detroit styles in there, you got the thin crust. Little Caesars got all kinds of options at the moment.
No, Little Caesars thin crust tastes like fucking seeds and ass. I've never liked their thin crust. I'll eat their hot and ready if it's quick and I need to get some food in my belly. But their deep dish, their fucking Sicilian, that's good shit, man. That's good shit right there. Definitely.
That's true.
Definitely good shit right there. We've got Little Caesars near here. Told you, man, that was my first real job ever.
Jesus, I bought everybody Little Caesars because I don't like you. That would be a great heel turn. Like, I did not splurge for Pizza Hut because fuck Holly.
Bro, I fucking crazy bread. Come on, man. Come on.
I like Little Caesars. I was choosing to be like remain silent because I actually like the thin crust. The thin crust fucking tastes like shit, and it's like, all right, well, fair enough. I mean, your feelings on it don't reflect my taste buds, so everything's fine. It's not going to suddenly make the pizza taste bad to me. But
to be honest,
Cheese also has a vendetta against Little Caesars because the owner of Little Caesars also owns the Red Wings and Pistons, and neither one of them are doing too well.
Oh, I didn't know they had another restaurant. Interesting. Oh, wait, you're talking about teams.
Yes, the Red Wings and the Pistons. The Pistons.
Red Wings and Pistons. Detroit Pistons and the Red Wings. Okay, I know who you're talking about now. I got you. I heard something different. I apologize.
That's okay.
And then it started going through my head that's not what you said. Like a quick twist was like, that is not what he said, you dumb fuck. So
you
then
had your own little fucking like Usual Suspects moment where you were like reviewing the footage in your mind.
Yeah.
No, Red Wings and Tigers. Yeah, I said Red Wings and Pistons, but
Tigers.
That's my bad.
Please.
I misspoke.
They can't even get it straight in fucking Detroit. So calm down.
These things happen. Pistons are owned by some rich recluse in California who does great things for the community, apparently. That's like their tagline is like the team's been awful for you consistently for years.
Yeah, he could have just said someone from California. They're all rich recluses.
More or less.
But anyway, we've only got a few minutes here. left. Well, we got 30 minutes left, but all we have left is we need to mention, I guess, before we finish up with the Willow and Sasha, was that Willow did put Sasha or Mercedes through a table, which wasn't bad. So after that, though, Smark, we had the main event, which was the AEW Continental Championship, which was Okada versus Dax Harwood. Oh, what was that? Did you not like the match?
Well, the match was fine. I was shuddering because I was remembering like the promos, because like Okada called him a bitch, which was really cool. I liked when Okada called him a bitch because true, I felt that. He said what we were all thinking. Finally, somebody had the courage. And then Okada was like, "It's not Okada." That's how Okada cut his promo. Like, I'm here from Japan, and Dax, you're a little bitch right now. No, Dax said, "Name calling's not nice, Okada, and you're the elite's bitch, and don't make fun of my daughter. I swear to God, I will use Cash's pistol if you ever say my daughter's name, motherfucker."
It's in his truck. You know it, right?
Yep.
Oh, shit. Good match. Didn't mind the match. After the match was over, we had the return, folks, of Darby Allin. The return of Darby Allin. This guy is just coming back he's back pretty quick from broken foot, I got to tell you.
In the pinkest jacket imaginable.
He was in a pink jacket. I didn't mind the pink jacket. I was just sitting there going, broken foot. How long ago was that?
I mean, we were talking about 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Wow. That he can't be 100%. He's done articles admitting he's not 100%, which means, please, I don't know. Can he even be fucking cleared? They couldn't have got someone else. I guess not. Eddie Kingston or Darby Allin. What's another shitty fucking wrestler that can fucking add into there for me?
Hey, let's not do that.
I'm sorry, dude. Eddie's falling off. He needs a break. Maybe he'll come back from the break looking fucking good, strong, and like he can actually do a chop.
Yeah, he'll never be able to do that chop well. I've always said that that's bad.
Wish Ric Flair would call him and say, dude, we got to talk about this.
I do like the idea that they think that they're similar enough characters that you could just interchange them. Darby Allin and Eddie Kingston.
Well, I guess in a way.
Actually I like that idea. Just like fucking give Eddie Kingston, like have him paint the other side of his face. So he'll match up with Darby, and you have Darby, like you have Eddie do like a fucking like emo goth kid gimmick. Life is a circle of sadness, partner.
I think it makes sense. They're both stupid. They're both reckless.
I'm basking in my misery over here, dog.
Don't start that. We need to get out of here.
Don't edit this out.
Shit. We need to get the fuck out of here, man. We're done.
Sad Eddie Kingston is good. I want that to be a gimmick. Now, I was originally going to pitch him to be a construction worker, but yes, give me sad Eddie Kingston.
You want the handyman, Eddie Kingston?
Well, I mean construction worker, but handyman works too.
He's a man. He's a man's man.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Oh shit, the handyman, Eddie Kingston. He does
look like a fire partner.
You know what? He's a New York guy. You got to call him the Super.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, the Super.
He'd have to be the Super.
Super.
The Super. He's the Super. Yeah, I think that could work. All right, before we go over a bunch of really bad gimmicks for Eddie Kingston besides his own.
I have him on Facebook. I could send these to him.
Oh, dude, please do. Let's no, don't.
Like, okay. So you're some kind of you're a slumlord and you fix people's plumbing.
Like,
okay, so Eddie, we call it wrestling DMV, and what we need is
we need a manager. Eddie, but not the kind of manager you're thinking of.
You need 3 forms of ID, partner.
We've talked about this office thing for a long time, Smark. It's got to go through.
It should. It's my legacy. It's the
Dude.
only good idea I've ever had.
Dude, we
And
need
yes,
to
I do
call.
remember the show features.
We need to call Freddie Prinze Jr. and tell him about that idea.
Yes. I don't
That
even
one-
want credit. I just want to see the fucking thing happen. There's like 2 things in wrestling that I really want. It's wrestling DMV and it's Big E singing Pile Driver. And neither one is ever going to happen.
Big E would probably sing Pile Driver if you asked him to.
Yes, I hope so. Like if he ever does a cameo, I'm like, all right, I'll do triple the price if you want, but I need to hear Pile Driver.
Oh, just get him on the show. We'll talk to him. I'd love to talk to Big E.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I would love to talk to Big E. That'd be awesome. But anyway, folks, next week is the Go Home show, the Go Home Dynamite for AEW. I honestly didn't think this week was a great fucking show.
I actually really liked it, just aside from that Willis segment, which was terrible.
I felt like they gave us a bunch of long matches and not enough other shit.
It's a fucking Tony Storm promo where she was like, you're going to end up like everybody else in Las Vegas with a fucking ass in your face and your dignity gone. And it's like, what? Amazing.
Tony Storm is just amazing in the whole
I think
thing.
at one point she called herself the whore we all adore. And I'm like, well, that is a wild ass nickname, but fucking let it gain some traction, I guess.
Hey, I'm down with it.
It is amazing. I watched that promo 3 times just so I could see everybody's fucking reaction. And they were all like, each one of them had no idea where it was going. Renee didn't know where it was going. Fucking Luther didn't know where it was going. Mariah didn't know where it was going. It was all just them just reacting to the wild shit she said and like trying not to laugh.
Good stuff, man. Always good stuff.
That's great.
Man.
That was good.
Always good stuff with Tony Storm. She's totally committed to this character.
It's great.
Which is awesome. She's awesome at it, and she's completely just 100% thrown herself into it. So anyway, folks, I think we should go ahead and get the fuck out of here. Chat room, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Y'all were great. I appreciate it. Y'all had some great fucking lines, and I think we might actually need to call the show Oklahomo. Yeah, well, let's see if fucking Apple Podcasts will let us get away with it.
Maybe.
They wouldn't let me put a scrotum story. They didn't like that one. There was a lot of asterisks in the word scrotum. I mean, it's a medical fucking term. I didn't fucking put a ball story.
Now, if we don't get to call it Oklahoma, we can also call it Avalanche.
It's an avalanche. No, feel the air, buries everything. Time to be scared. You better be aware. It's a nightmare. You better run away if you just can't stay. If you wanna save the day. It's an avalanche. It's shining white. It's not like an angel, more like a devil. Not small like a pebble, more like a mountain that's swung to roll it. Very cold. It's an avalanche.
That kid is the greatest.
Did you just say avalanche?
Avalanche, yes.
What the fuck is an avalanche? I know an avalanche. I know what an avalanche is. No, what the fuck is an avalanche?
Yeah. That is indeed the full version. It's 48 seconds long. It's 2 verses. I don't know how you got 2 verses to do 48 seconds. That's what makes that kid so magical. He's also beefing with Drake, like Kendrick Lamar.
I wouldn't have made fun of him until I heard avalanche.
That is the best part.
What
and like
the
she
fuck
says, we're
is-
not entirely sure he's American. We think he's American and was doing a bad British accent, or he's British and just it showed.
Well, British people don't use their accents when they sing. You ever
You're
heard
right.
Phil Collins? You ever heard fucking Phil Collins?
One time.
What?
He felt me coming in the air tonight or something.
Oh.
I
That's
can
fucking-
feel him coming in my ass tonight.
Oh, I can feel it coming in my ear tonight. What?
Something like that. Yeah, he wrote a song about like George Michael and tapping his
Nope.
foot on his song.
Oh. I didn't.
That's what that song is about.
Phil Collins wrote a song about jerking off in a restroom?
Yes.
Restroom? Really?
It is rest area.
What was a rest area, rest room?
It was the rest room at the Denny's / Flying J in Paducah, Kentucky.
Was it really?
Yes. There's a singer-songwriter. There's like that show that fucking VH1 did that nobody liked. That was like songwriters or something.
Oh, so he was. So that's what that little town is known for.
Phil Collins loves jerking off in public places. Not
Wait.
where people can see him, but he just likes knowing that people are around.
No, that was George Michael. Phil Collins never got
Well,
busted for that.
He didn't get busted for it, but George Michael was soliciting gay sex from a cop, and then Phil Collins was just out here just jacking off public bathrooms, which is technically not illegal.
Well, of course not. Paul Rubens got jerked off. Yeah, he was jerking off in a theater.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't hurting anybody. He wasn't hurting anybody. You know, it's like Louis C.K. Let Louis back in comedy, folks. Let Louis C.K. back in comedy. He didn't hurt anyone. He jerked off in front of some women. He even asked permission. He had consent, you sick fucks. Let Louis C.K. back in comedy, you motherfuckers.
Which is, it's an ultimate like all or nothing proposition, because like, what if you ask somebody to jerk off in front of them and they say yes, and then like all you have is to look at them and think about them, and like, what if that becomes not good enough? Like, then you're like, you owe them a big apology, because not only are you just beating off in front of them, but like they're not good enough to get you past the hurdle.
Well, he's apologized. He's seen his ways. Let Louis C.K. back in comedy, everybody.
As Dave Chappelle said when he died in that tragic masturbating accident.
Leave Pee-wee alone. He's dead.
Pee-wee's fun spot.
Leave Pee-wee alone. He's dead. No reason to make fun of the guy. Anyway,
he is, isn't he?
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Piece of my childhood died with him, man. Some of my teenage years. I used to just get stoned and watch fucking Pee-wee's Playhouse all the fucking time. Shit. I got some Pee-wee's Playhouse right I down here in my fucking CD case, my DVD case. Might go watch some of that shit right now.
Mm-hmm.
Get fucking stoned. Watch me some Pee-wee. I might do it. I don't know. But anyway, folks, definitely chat room. Y'all kicked ass tonight. Definitely appreciate it. And on that note, Smark, I know they can find you somewhere else, but here, I know you don't have much longer. I know it's going to be on hiatus soon, but let them hear it anyway.
Yeah, a couple of weeks. First off, thanks everybody for showing up and hanging out. It's been a rough day, so I appreciate everybody hanging with us. It was a good time. Monday's 8:30 p.m. This week, it's going to be Monday, 10:30 p.m. It's going to be a little bit different. Check us out. It's totally inappropriate team sports. That's tits, if you will. Be a bra support tits. We are talking NHL playoffs. Probably talk a little bit of NFL. They got the schedule release, came out yesterday, so I'll probably delve into that a little bit, and much, much more. We like to, be offensive as possible, so that's always fun. We like to make fun of British people. That's why we have one on the show. It's good times.
All right. I do have to know, are y'all doing anything special when the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight happens?
I don't know, but we probably should.
Okay. If you do, throwing it out there, I wouldn't mind being a part of that.
Hey, I mean, that's not my decision to make, but I mean, in terms of whether or not we talk about it or do anything about it, but that'd be pretty cool.
Well, I'm going to throw my fucking hat in the ring and say, if y'all wouldn't mind having me, I would love to fucking be watching that live.
For sure.
So yeah, I would love to be talking about that with you guys if at all possible. So anyway, that is it, folks. Don't forget to check out, like you said, Tits Monday. They won't be on at that time of the year. Oh, come on. That's a special episode, you son of a bitch.
Ooh, a very special episode. Kind of like when Gary Coleman got molested in that bike shop.
Listen, if you guys want to do it over here, that's fine too. We'll find a way to do a special episode. I would like to I'd like to have all y'all sports guys talking about that fight, though. That would be fun to do. Whether it's here or there, I'd like to have all y'all do that. We'll do a special episode. That would be great. Yeah, that'd be awesome. All get together, have some fun, talk about Jake Paul getting killed. Mm-hmm. So, all right, folks, on that note, definitely, like Smark said, appreciate everybody coming on in, appreciate everybody that's going to download. And on that note, we can go ahead and get out of here. So, see ya later.